up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, dope people? It's a new week. Welcome to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off your day in this week with the Wake Up Woodward crew.
Let's go.
Crew in the building. Let's rock, man. Hey, Flannel Sam will be on Big D Energy today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And we're going to have four of the other starting five here. Broder, myself, JBSMOOOOOV in the TD booth, and KG on his way. Shout out to Justin as well. What up, though, brother? Hey.
I can't hear you. Might be
Doing
muted.
great. Doing great. Doing great. How about you guys? You guys have a good weekend?
Fantastic.
Good to
Had a
hear.
great
Good to hear.
weekend.
Great for another great day with part of the Woo crew. Woo woo.
Woo, woo. Let's rock. Hey, JBSMOOOOOV, how you feeling this morning?
Oh, I'm good, man. How you guys feeling?
What'd you say?
I said I'm good. How you guys feeling? Can you hear me? All right.
I'm feeling great, man. I had a big weekend. I had a really, really big weekend. But, Broder, how was your weekend?
It was awesome. It was awesome. You know, it was pretty low key.
Yeah.
I got to watch a lot of sports this weekend. Went through my second free trial of the Fubo app, so I moved to the Bally
My
app
second
to
free
actually be able
trial.
to watch some Tigers. I had a decent first experience to start with the Bally app. I haven't exactly played around, but I got to see Matt Manning
It was a good first
pitch.
date?
Okay, what?
It was a good first date with the Bally Sports
Yeah,
app?
yeah. Had a good Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you swiping left or right on the Bally Sports app?
To be determined.
To be
I got to get to know her a little bit
A
better.
few more dates.
Yeah. I got to message back
Hey.
and forth a little bit, see how she responds to a couple of the pickup lines, see if she'll treat me the same after a month. And actually, after
After
7
a
days.
month.
Yeah. See
Yeah.
if she's worth $20 a month.
Hey, I feel you. Chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this platform. Put in the chat how your weekend was. If you did anything interesting, whatever, put it in there. Maybe we'll read some of these during the show as well.
I have a task for the chat while we go
Hey.
through this intro.
Let's go.
Because Doc Macaroon, friend of the show, on every Thursday at 8:30, he posted a graphic on Twitter. He posted actually a question. We're going to post his Twitter as a graphic. He asked on a Ennis Rexstraw Jr. Twitter post, he said, car dealership. I don't really know what that meant, but Doc posed this question. Hey, what would be the most ideal car for a Lions rookie cornerback? So I want to hear your guys' answers in the chat. I want to get you as creative as possible. Like I wrote in Doc's tweet, I want you to be something like he should drive a Jetta because so he can practice locking up Jettas every Sunday before the season starts.
I see what you're doing
a
there.
Ford can't escape. Like get as creative as you want, but what's the ideal first car for a rookie Lions NFL quarterback?
Huh.
Maybe a Land Rover Defender. Defender?
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
That's a car. I want you
Yeah.
to get creative. I don't think you guys understand what I'm saying, do you?
No.
Do
I think they get
I
it.
think
I
we
think
get it.
they get it.
They get it. They get it.
Marauder, 96 Impala to Wheezy D. Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger.
Dante 151. Also, it doesn't have to be a Ford because he plays for the Lions, so keep it going. John Macaroon, I see you in the chat. What's up, Doe? I mean, what up, Doe?
What
What's
up, though?
dude?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Hey,
Hey, you know what, CK? He said, shout out KG at the table on the heavyweights last week.
Yeah.
Definitely. Shout out to everybody again that's getting their opportunities to shine. And it's really cool because, like you alluded to last week, there's a lot of people that wear a lot of different hats. And it's cool to see those people getting their opportunity. So, shout
No
out to KG.
doubt. Also, shout out to Vincent E. and Ryan's Reaction and CK and Just a Fan, Greg Alspa, Ed O'Neill, Devin the Dog,
Hey, let's
Phil.
go. The
What's up,
regulars are
everybody?
here.
Shane D, Ed O'Neill,
Family's
everybody.
here. Hey, smash that like button to support the Woo Crew. Once you have, encourage somebody else to do the same. Broder,
Yes.
let's tell the people what we're talking about because it looks like we got a
little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything today.
We don't have a ton of Red Wings today, but we got Tigers. We got Pistons. And a question actually inspired by legendary chat member Big Dan Davis about is there a Final Four for the Pistons PBO position? Are we that far yet? I want to ask Kool-Aid a couple questions about that. Then we're through the schedule release. We're through most of free agency. The draft is over. There was some news about a Lions front office executive possibly finding a new home. So in the 9 o'clock hour, at 9 o'clock, we're going to relive. We're going to go on a little journey through this Lions offseason. PFF also gave them, they were the only team in PFF's, a recent article giving them grades for their offseason, the only A-plus given off by PFF. I'm not going to throw a lot of PFF stats at you, but I am going to use PFF to frame why I want to do this. Why do they have an A-plus offense? I want to tell you why. That's going to be in the 9 o'clock hour.
Well, wait. So you mean to tell me we're going to talk about and recap what the Detroit Lions have done this offseason?
Yes.
You know what? Shades on for
Throw
Brad
them on, Kool-Aid.
Holmes.
Kool-Aid, throw them on.
Let's go. Let's go. You know what? Because we did this for Troy Weaver when he first got here. And Brad Holmes is the one that's been honestly deserving. He's the one deserving of the trust in Brad Holmes moniker. He's the one deserving of the buff song for Brad Holmes. That's what we're about to start to drive, man.
Are you telling me you did this for when Troy Weaver got hired? And you thought he was cooking? I'm a superstitious guy.
After he got Kay Cunningham.
Okay.
Jeremy Grant.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We said trust in Troy.
I'm a superstitious guy. I'll trust you.
On. But Brad
Holmes, leave him on, bro. You look great.
Brad Holmes is the only one deserving, though.
Definitely.
In the city.
Definitely. But let's go around the city because something involving Brad Holmes is brewing. It's not a good thing. Something behind the scenes. The Commanders are trying to become, someone said in the chat, Steve DeYoung.
Yeah.
The Commanders are trying to become the Lions of the NFC East by taking from the Lions. They already took Lance Newmark.
Yeah.
Former, let me make sure I get Lance Newmark's title correct. He was the senior director of player personnel. Last year, Dave Sears, the college scouting director for the Lions, went to the Cardinals. But now the Washington Commanders are going after Brandon Sosna. This is a young up-and-coming executive that Brad Holmes, Mike Disner have really taken, not under their wing. They've used him as part of their wizardry these last few off seasons, I should say. A cap expert helps him navigate the nuances of the collective bargaining agreement. Justin Rogers of the Detroit News wrote in an article earlier this year that he quickly became one of the organization's secret weapons. And one quote that he shared of Brad Holmes, he's about as elite of a communicator as I've been around, and he's a grinder. So they're losing a big part of this front office, this executive staff. Brandon Sosna, I think he's 31 years old, was quickly becoming a name in the Detroit Lions organization, but really across the NFL after coming from USC. I believe he was their scouting director there. He's a big name. The Washington Commanders are likely going to hire him. So that could be a big loss.
It could be a big loss.
Maybe.
But for this, and this is why we got the shades on right now, for this era of Detroit Lions football, I don't think it is. I believe that the nucleus is what you saw them go out there and retain. They gave contract extensions to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. They gave they worked to retain Mike Disner. Yeah. They still have Rod Wood in house. They still have Chris Spielman. Did Chris Spielman get an extension?
He did.
He got one. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. As long as that nucleus with Sheila at the helm, I'm never gonna say that losing somebody that was a part of this success that's been building up. It's just something that you could just it doesn't matter all that much. But with this nucleus that is here, that is still here, that's the one that has identified this talent. That's the one that pulled all of this together. That's the one that helped to spearhead where we see the Detroit Lions at right now. I trust them as it relates to being able to kind of keep this ship moving forward the right way, similarly to how Brad Holmes is doing in the front office.
Yeah, they have started to build a reputation of promoting internally. When Dave Sears went to the Cardinals, it was Brian Hudspeth who took his spot, promoting him internally. We see them coaching up Tanner Angstrand as a possible replacement for Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson himself came up through the ranks. So
perfect example.
Promoting
we didn't
internally.
know Tanner's name one year, and then all of a sudden we're like, boom. Please don't leave.
Please don't leave. So we're going to talk more about their front office, like some of these decisions when we review this Lions offseason, because this front office is a big part of that. But we're going around the city. Let's move on a little bit. By the way, we see some great – are you looking in the chat, seeing some comments?
I saw Steve DeYoung. He just said at Broder, it is a sign of the success of this regime when the Lions front office and coaching staff gets poached. And he's exactly right.
Facts. I see just a fan. He said for a Enos Rakestraw or a Lions cornerback, a car, he says a Ram Charger. Or Ram Charger, like, they beat the Rams last year. They beat the Chargers last year.
Yep.
Aiden Hutchinson, we could call him a Ram Charger. Know what I'm saying? I would see those are the type of creative answers I want to see. I also want to see the Pistons maybe get creative for themselves. Is this true? And at 8:30, we're going to go into more depth about this. Do they have a Final Four, or are these just rumored names? Because I see out there John Hammond, Dennis Lindsey, Scott Perry, Trajan Langdon. That's a blast from the past. I don't see Dwayne Casey. Is this the Final Four? Or are these just some names they're focusing on? They're really starting this search with.
Those are the 4 that are from outside the organization.
Gotcha.
Like I said, Dwayne Casey, I'm going to continue to say this, is sources from within the organization as well have confirmed to me that Dwayne Casey is a legit candidate for the Pistons president of basketball operations time.
But those 4, they're external. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm excited to see. I hope.
And that report is via Vince Goodwill of Yahoo Sports. I just want to make sure that credit is out there. And Vinny, the Pistons media room, one of the best media rooms, man. They're all good people. There's no competition. There's nobody like, you know what, I'm not going to help you because of. No, everybody is working to help. Shout out to Steve Stuckey, Johnny Kane, and all the other people I work with in that Pistons media room this year.
Everyone you introduced me to when I was there with you that one game, the nicest people ever.
Yeah.
Just wanting to help you, help us.
James Edwards of The Athletic, Omari Sankofa, Mike Curtis, all those guys. And Corey Woods.
Corey, of course.
And Jeremy Allen from the Michigan Chronicle. Got to make sure I shout out everybody. It was a dope time.
Oh, yeah. I've gotten to know Corey a bit with the Lions, with the Lions coverage. And a great human being, great guy. Yeah. Tigers. Well, and I'm going to ask you more.
You see. Got that Elmago energy right now, right? The big stick. Let's
the magician. Rock. We were talking about all this magic. Elmago had the stick working this weekend, especially in those first 2 games. Yeah. Tigers took 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks. They needed that. Big time. It's weird. One series, all of a sudden, there's this re-energized life around this team, around the fan base. Wait, they can score 13 runs? Wait, they can win 8-3?
But you know what? Spencer Torkelson as well. He's looking like he's starting to figure some things out, and that obviously that's going to bode well for the Detroit Tigers. But it's what you said. It's what all of us have continued to say. But you said it more specifically like this. This season will be a roller coaster. You said my expectations have not changed.
No.
But expect to see this team go through some good stretches and some ugly stretches with a few, that's what we want to see in between.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to see out of this Detroit Tigers team all season long.
100%. Lost game 1, 13-0. Excuse me.
One game.
13-0. My bad.
Wait a minute.
Rewind.
That's why we got the bat right now.
Yes, exactly. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Just rewind it. 1 13-0. 1 8-3. Lost 6-4 yesterday on a tough one. There's some interesting plays there at the end of the game. But you see there's a lot to pick apart. There's good things and bad. But when guys like Javi Baez hit a little bit, when Cole Keith hits a little bit, when Spencer Torkelson hits a little bit, you see how much more balanced this lineup is. We can't expect Cole Keith to go 4 for 4 every game. We can't expect Javi Baez to get 5 RBIs every game. But if they can just get a little better as the season goes on, this lineup is just a little more difficult to deal with. And we know how good the pitching staff is. They did it again.
Yep.
Tarek Skubal had another Cy Young performance. Jack Flaherty, he may be working his way into the conversation. He pitched like an absolute stud on Saturday. After a tough start to the game, he settled down and looked sharp as hell. And then Matt Manning didn't pitch his greatest yesterday, but the Tigers were in it. It was 4-4. What was it, going into the 8th inning? They blew it late. But nonetheless, this team, when they can hit a little bit more, they got something to play with. We're going to talk more about the Tigers here in this next segment, but continue to get your answers in the chat. What kind of car should Enos Rakestraw or any Lions cornerback drive? The best answers are the creative ones, like the Buick Enclave. Isn't an Enclave like you lock some? It's like a covered space. No one can get out. So, give me your answers. Give me your explanations in the chat. Kool-Aid, tell us about Premier Pet.
I will tell you guys about Premier Pet.
Why did I just roar?
You know why you roared?
Sorry.
For Rory the Lion, man. When do we take our pet to give him the best? Premier Pet Supply. It's hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned For over 30 plus years, they have 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. They have same day, local curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Yes.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand
Right.
and you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They still offer the same great service that their customers have come to know and expect. So go check them out on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile Road, or you can go check them out in Dearborn today. Visit lesstanford.com. That's Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive right down Woodward Avenue. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward, people. I need you guys, chat family, as the most important part of this show to go ahead and smash that like button once you have. Encourage somebody else to do the same. It would be much appreciated by the Woo Crew. I know you guys got to talk to everybody else on the show today except for Detroit's #1 draft pick and Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year.
KG.
Mr.
What up?
KG in the sound booth.
What up, though? I'm in the building, man. How y'all doing?
What do you got? Spread your light.
What?
Fast forward. Spread your locks.
Oh, wow.
Spread your locks.
Okay, all right.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania 12, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart, who is one of my favorites. Bret Hart, the excellence of execution. So you know what it is, man. I got a rep.
Hey, let's hey, Ryan's reaction.
I did not see that,
Yeah, you said that.
Man, to open up, man.
Good morning, everybody. JB Smooth. What do you? What's? I'm just trying to talk.
You put that down and you take that off the screen. I never said it.
God damn.
Bro, man, the chat
You were
is
excited to see me,
the chat
aren't
is
you?
El Mago in Fuego right now, man. Sheesh. JB, what's up with your jersey, man? What you got on?
Oh, you know I'm repping, Bel Air Academy.
Let's
This
go.
is a story
Mr.
all about how.
Young Will.
Mr. Smith,
He went
Bel Air
crazy in that
Academy.
one game.
Bro, all I remember Carlton taking the ball and just chucking it like, and that boy's like, oh, Carlton, no. Oh, man. Let's
Cy
get
Gray.
into it.
Cy Gray.
Yeah.
I like this answer. For a Lions rookie cornerback, the Terrion Tesla or the Rolls Royce rake straw.
Ooh.
I like the Rolls
Luxury.
Royce rake straw. I like that one. That was from who?
That was from Cy Gray,
Cy Gray.
legendary chat member.
You know what? Enos Rake Straw needs to reach out to Cy Gray. Maybe he can help with some branding and such.
I think so.
Hey,
I
that'd
think
be
so. A
dope.
little Ford Rolls Royce partnership. I'm down.
I like that one.
I'm down.
I like that one.
Did you know the Twins got swept this weekend?
The
Really?
Twins?
Yeah,
By who?
by the Guardians. So it kind of
Okay.
sucks, but it's the Twins lost.
Okay.
The Royals and the Guardians are trying to separate from our Tigers,
Yeah.
but the Tigers aren't going to let that happen.
No,
They
sir.
take 2 or 3. They had one of their worst stretches we've seen in a long, long time leading into this Diamondback series. Taking 2 out of 3 is huge. They almost swept them. They definitely could have swept them, but the Guardians and the Royals, who the Tigers have coming up this week, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, they're trying to pull away. They're trying to pull away from the White Sox, the Tigers, the Twins.
Yeah.
Tigers have a chance, though, to stay in it. They got to take care of business against the Twins. We see what they can do when they score runs. So how about this? The last 7 games, when they've given up 2 runs or fewer, Okay, so the Tigers have lost 7 games when they've given up 2 runs or fewer. If they didn't lose those games, if they won all those games, they'd be 30-16. So 30-16 if they averaged about 4.5 runs a game. We see what happens. We saw the Diamondbacks are a pretty good team, and they had good pitchers they rolled out there against the Tigers, but they were able to score some runs. And this staff, led by Skubal, Flaherty, and then Manning went on Sunday. Again, not his best effort, but you see what happens when the offense can score some runs. Even 4, they were in it. They almost pulled out yesterday with a Kerry Carpenter near inside the park 2-run home run. Yeah. At first glance, it looks like he hit it out first, and it was just a 2-run homer to take a 5-4 lead. He ends up getting thrown out at home plate. But this Tigers team showed some really good things, Kool-Aid. Anything just topical you saw, you noticed? Colt Keith played well. Almago had some big games.
Hey, like I said, we got the Almago and Fuego. You already know what it is. I do want to ask you about Tariq Skubal potentially being the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. But I do want to know how KG felt about this weekend with the Detroit Tigers. We know it's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
All of us are invested in seeing one of our other teams make it back to the playoffs. These Detroit Tigers, especially when you talk about the bats and you see the potential that they have, it's just like, put it together. You don't even need all of these guys with hot. You don't need that. You need them to just play some level of consistency somewhere around, even if it's slightly below average, just better than what would Flannel say. It starts with a 0 after the decimal. You need these guys to be something a little bit more competent. We can take the normal, okay, he's in a batting slump, but at least batting slump would indicate you're hitting something a little bit more. And when you see those bats kind of get going the way they did, that's where I see this team is not going to be out of the race. I know what the Guardians are doing, like you said, to kind of pull away. But if the Tigers' bats turn on, I believe that makes them really one of the fiercest competitors in the AL Central. But it all depends on those bats. That was a stat, though, as it relates to their losses in those close games. That is really disappointing because I thought they were set up to kind of be a team to win some of those games. But,
before we go to KG, shout out Mark Ryan from 97.1, one of their newest hosts. He shared this stat on Twitter, which I updated on Sunday after the loss. When the Tigers score 5 or more runs, they're 16-3. That's the best winning percentage in baseball, almost 85%. When scoring less than 5 runs, the Tigers are 7 for 20. The worst team in baseball, 259.
That is so weird.
KG,
you think they're
it's nice seeing them score some runs, eh?
Yeah, well, when El Mago gets 6 runs in a weekend, you're probably winning some games, man. Or 6 RBI, should I say. But it was encouraging to see, man. You don't know what you're going to get from this team day to day, but they decided to roll out on Friday. They gave us a 13-0 gem. They had a really good game on Saturday, 8-3, and then yesterday, at least they fought. They were in the game up until the end, man. Some questionable calls down the stretch, but either way, they take the series, and you just want to see them continue to handle business, man. Got the Royals coming up. And you need them to continue doing what they're doing. They seem to have figured maybe something out, but we just need to see the consistency, man. So I'm happy for the pitchers finally being able to get some winning, some run support behind them, man. That's who I'm more concerned for is the pitcher.
With just a little less stress.
Yeah.
Tarek Skubal in game 1, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 6 Ks, only threw 74 pitches. That's what you love to see. Get your workhorse in there, get a quality start, get him out of the game, let your bullpen take care of work. Will Vest and Joey Wentz, 2 pitchers out of the bullpen did that. Game 2, Flaherty was a stud. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. He's second in the MLB in strikeouts right now. Second, 98 pitches, 68 strikes. That's a very good ratio. And then game 3, Matt Manning, 5 innings pitched, 10 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks. That's where he wasn't as sharp. He was walking some guys. He didn't have his best stuff.
He didn't look like,
but he competed
like he had seen, like we had seen earlier in the season. But I like listening to you talk about baseball pitchers. So you got to talk to me about Tariq Skubal. You got to, bro. Is this guy the best pitcher in baseball?
I think so. I mean, there's an argument. You try to convince me he's not top 5. I'll argue with you. You say he's 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I think he's the best pitcher in baseball. Yeah. What he can do from the left side. How he can throw 100. He can pull back to an 86, 87, 88 mile an hour changeup. He's now got his cutter working, his curveball working. We see the thing that was he struggled with before. It was that consistency, not just throwing strikes, but coming back start for start, coming coming back like that ace, like that workhorse.
Yeah.
We now know when Tarek Skubal takes the mound, you're going to get his best effort. You're going to get just a consistent, reliable outing from him. I mean, 26 on Friday, 25 of his 26 hardest thrown pitches weren't put in play. The one that was put in play was a sinker. It was a ground ball by Jake McCarthy.
That's silly, bro.
But now that he's getting that velocity up, they aren't putting that ball in play. They're either swinging through, they're fouling it off, they're striking out when he throws hard, and then he pulls a string and he throws a changeup. When you're throwing 101 and you throw an 89-mile-an-hour changeup, that feels like a 25-mile-an-hour difference.
Oh, yeah.
Like to the eye in that short amount of time to react, it makes him unhittable. He's working the strike zone, but working on at the top of the strike zone, at the bottom of the strike zone, in and out, and he's changing speeds all within the strike zone. It allows him when he does come out of the strike zone, whether it's a changeup in the dirt or a slider away, they're swinging at it because they're expecting it to be around the strike zone, whether it's right painted on the corner or right down the middle. They haven't been able to hit it.
And I love this starting pitching staff, what they're doing right now, and just kind of zeroing in on Tariq Skubal. My question is this: how close is he to that must-see JV type of kind of aura? Because right now, every time he's out there, you can basically pencil in a dub every single time. But it's an amazing thing.
The only reason you can't just pencil it in is because you don't know what the offense is going to produce.
Right.
But they're producing runs when he's out on the mound.
Yeah.
I think they know the effort they're going to give. They come out of the gate hey, let's score 1 or 2 early, and we're good.
Yeah.
We got that done.
Yeah.
And that's such a pressure off. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I like how I asked, like, how close is he to must-see JV? And both of y'all was like, oh, no, he's there already.
He's there. You want me to tell you why?
I mean, every time he's out there, he's not giving up more than 2 runs.
How about
There
this?
you go.
Since 1913, so we're talking over 100 years, 111?
Yeah.
111 years. Only 3 pitchers have a 14-game stretch with an ERA below 150, at least 100 strikeouts, and no more than 12 walks or 4 home runs. Clayton Kershaw, who will go down as the top 3 lefty of all time, if not number 1.
I thought you said he's going to go down as Matthew Stafford's best friend.
Right?
Matthew Stafford.
You know they went to high school together, right?
Yeah, I think he was Stafford's center in high school.
Yeah,
Kershaw, they played at the same high school down in Texas.
Yep.
Oh,
great material, bro.
I never heard that before.
Never.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a very rich center to quarterback combination.
Ain't it great that the Lions are good now, and that's not the only talking point about the Lions anymore? Hey, you know Matthew Stafford knows Clayton Kershaw. Who cares? Who cares?
That was the claim to fame.
Oh my goodness! Thank God. Man.
That's a good show, by the way.
Which one?
Claim to Fame.
I've never seen it. Never even heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, what is it?
So it's basically like celebrities, if you're related to a celebrity in some kind of way, like if you're their brother, cousin, something like that, you basically go on this show, you're in this house, and everyone around you is basically guessing who your claim to fame is. And if you miss, then you get exposed for who your claim to fame is, and you're eliminated. But at the end of the show, you do win money.
Interesting. We need to make a segment like that. Now we got to move on from the Tigers because now my brain is a very different direction.
Oh, God.
That's interesting, actually. Like 20 questions, but a little different type of version of it.
But you were giving us some stats.
Yeah. I said Clayton Kershaw?
Yep.
So since 1913, one of 3 pitchers, Clayton Kershaw, Jacob deGrom, and Tarek Skubal.
Ooh.
So over that span, that's 14 starts. He's 10-0, 85 innings pitched, 109 strikeouts, and a 1.48 ERA.
You know what? The Detroit Tigers organization after this year, I will allow the assessment year for right now. They owe Tariq Skubal bats in the future.
Absolutely.
They owe him. You cannot waste this. If this guy, you talking about, he's at must-see JV. He's at that point where when he steps off that mound in the 7th or the 8th, at worst, he's only giving up 2 runs. At worst. You have to take advantage of this right now. We saw how well it worked out for them during the JV and Scherzer and Porcello era. I'm sorry, man. You see what this pitcher staff is doing? Can you guys imagine just slightly below average bats?
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
It makes the world a difference.
They can't enter next season like this.
KG.
They can't do that.
Do you think, actually, how much would it take you, and try to be unbiased with this.
Okay.
If you're an opposing GM, how much of decent bias do you have to see to like be tricked into picking up the phone when Scott Harris calls, or even calling Scott Harris? Say,
Hey, He got me excited.
Basically, at what point, like, how can you ship him out for scraps? Like, you take whatever you can back. If you're not going to come, just, like, how good does he need to play?
If I'm an opposing GM, I'm not even picking up the phone for Baez. And it is cool to see him have a good few games, but we need to see the consistency. Maybe if he could somehow get his average up to maybe 250, then maybe teams can start calling and you can start giving him out for scraps. But at this point, you got to just buy the man's contract out. If he continues to perform at a level that, you know, we're accustomed to him performing. But when he does good, you got to give him credit, man. This was a really good weekend for him. And you just hope that he can build off of it, if for anything, for his trade value.
Exactly. That's what I want. I want, you know, someone else whose trade value is down a little bit. Shortstop Bo Bichette for the Toronto Blue Jays. They're coming to the point where they might be turning to sellers as the Yankees pull away from them. You know, they talk about Vlad Guerrero Jr. maybe being on the block.
Ooh,
I want Bo Bichette.
You said Boba Fett?
No, Bo Bichette.
Boba Fett? I didn't know he played baseball. Boba Fett plays baseball? I didn't know that.
Who?
Boba Fett.
Bubble Fett?
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Star Wars.
Boba.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Like the tea with the balls that you suck up.
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Okay.
Boba tea.
Fast forward.
Did I say anything incorrect?
The unplausible.
Well, what was that?
Bishop T.D. Jakes. It was Bishop T.D.
Swallowed.
Boba Fett pitches. Bubble Fett. Bubble tea. See, my guys know. CK, yeah, great weekend for El Mago, bad weekend for his haters.
Let's go, El
Cough,
Mago.
Neil, cough.
He might be back, man.
No one, okay, just to be clear.
Ryan's reaction. The what, brother?
Boba tea. Are they like Jamocha balls? Okay, just to be clear.
You and balls,
we're in
man.
a clippable world right now. None of us are defending Javi Baez. You can clip the boba tea and the balls and all you want. I don't want you clipping us saying we think Javi Baez is like a good player right now.
Right.
But just so you guys
He
know,
might be back, though. I'm just saying.
we just need him back just enough.
Hey,
Just
give me a
enough.
fist pump. Boom.
This guy.
Right.
Detroit Pistons will take Bonnie James and screw the NBA. Bronny James.
Wait.
You know what, Kool-Aid? I
Right,
want to
Bonnie?
ask you about that specifically.
Does it say
It said
Bonnie?
Bonnie? I think he meant Bronny.
Yeah, I think you meant Bronny.
I want to ask you about that when we come back. 'cause
Man, I got into it with T-Foss over this.
I know there are two very different sides of this. And let's talk about it when we get back. Let's do it. Kool-Aid, I'm going to tell you about something. What? How high?
We'll talk about it,
How high
man.
would
Can
you
I just
take
put it
Bronny
up here?
James?
Can I just...
Do you know how high I would take? I'll go ask our.
Okay.
I'm gonna delay till that gets off the screen before I do my read for our wonderful sponsor.
Ooh, what a way to start the week,
Javi
people.
Baez
Let's
just
go.
raising his batting average gets higher and higher. Are we far enough away from that being on screen? We're
think
gonna
so,
go
yeah,
with
we're
it. Visit Dispo Dispensary today for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience where they have the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. So come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. That's Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone, where we mean anyone can work out there judgment-free to get your fitness goals. Anyone. You can feel comfortable. You can experience a squeaky clean gym. I hate you guys. I love Planet Fitness. We are here in the Planet Fitness studios. Let me get our sponsorship read in, because these guys are the best. I belong to Planet Fitness. I have a black card. I use all their amenities. The Hydra massage bed really gets the back and the legs warmed up before a workout. You could do it after, too. It's fantastic. You get it all. And you get a membership for $10 a month or a black card for $24.99. It's worth it, no matter where you are. There's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Check them out. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Essential. What up, dog? People, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward.
I didn't say queefy clean.
Yeah. Mike G, did brother say queefy clean?
Do you guys realize I black out when I talk? Like, I don't know what comes out of my mouth. I am what?
Chat is asking if you had a stroke.
It was a long weekend, guys. I love the chat, by the way. I love you guys.
Chat is the best.
Chat is amazing.
If we're not making fun of each other, we don't love each other.
Oh,
big facts.
Queefy clean. Dog. Never mind. I'll save that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk out.
Oh, the Pistons! Yay!
Hey, you guys already see, man. Shades off for this segment. Not as hot. But the Pistons, man.
Why? First off, before the PBO conversation.
Yes.
I know drafting Brownie 5th, he's not worth a draft pick. Not even in the second round in this draft. It's not a pick for Brownie. It's a pick for LeBron James for 1, maybe 2 years.
For what?
For putting seats in the stands. For maybe helping Cade run the team, become a leader, become more of a court general out there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think having LeBron, I mean, there's a lot that comes with it, but I don't think on the court, basketball-wise, there would be any downside. If you don't expect to win the NBA championship, there'd be no downside to having him on a young roster with Cade Cunningham as your star player. Like, I do think Bron could help Cade a lot, and that would be the only reason why you would consider Bronny James at 5, just to F with the NBA and to call LeBron out on, you're going to go wherever Bronny gets drafted? Will you go to Detroit?
Right, and watch you be stuck with Bronny after that.
Yeah.
And watch LeBron never show up after that. If there's one place he ain't coming, it is LCA. It is the Detroit Pistons, man.
No, it's close to Cleveland. He already beat Detroit. There's been some bad memories, LeBron at the Palace.
Yeah.
You know, Xavier D said one thing LeBron is like one team Aaron Rodgers, and for me personally, that's exactly how it feels. What Mitten made as well. Mitten said earlier in the chat, it'll be just the Pistons' luck. Effectively, they go and they draft Bronny. They say, you know what? LeBron is on his way, and then LeBron all of a sudden retires. You said it would be like Gronk all over again, right?
I mean, pretty much. Why would he want to come here? I mean, he couldn't. He struggled to get in the play-in this year. He has Anthony Davis on his team. There's no Anthony Davis nowhere near this franchise. So I'm just saying.
He wants to play with his son.
Okay. Play with him in the backyard. Play with him in the driveway.
Agreed.
Jared Tobias said, shout out to Jared. He said LeBron doesn't love Bronny enough to move to Detroit.
And this is coming from a LeBron fan, but if you were to do that, especially with the 5th pick, that's unforgivable. And it would just reek of publicity, like it's a media stunt.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's not don't need to hide that.
How has this improved the team, though? I'm trying to actually improve this franchise. Like, 1 to 2 years of LeBron, and although he is playing still at a really high level, he's 42 years old.
Well, right. It's again, you don't have the expectations of winning a championship. Like, you might not.
So what's the point of doing it?
Yeah.
Why waste money? Why waste the money
to sell tickets
to get an adult in the building?
From your standpoint, I do understand this aspect of thinking of LeBron James like a car starter or like a battery charge or something to just kind of get that thing going. Yeah. And then after that 1 or 2 years, try and build on that type of foundation where I just kind of pause on the idea is just you at this point in this rebuild, in this restore, at this point with these young players that you will move forward with, you have to have something, in my opinion, a little bit more foundationally structured. I believe that there are some vets out there right now that can play similar roles to LeBron James. Maybe get you a little bit more consistency as it relates to playing the games rather than kind of the load management that comes with having LeBron James on your squad. Yeah. And could cost you a lot less than what he would command for those 2 years, because that's another thing. LeBron is not coming to Detroit for peanuts. He's not.
See, I think he would
come here.
I don't think he cares about the money. He just wants to play with Bronny.
His agency cares about it though. The agents and the agency, they care about it, and the Basketball Players Association cares about it too. If LeBron starts to take less, they lose leverage as it relates to their ability to go in and when it's time to negotiate with the league, they lose their
this is an outlier,
they lose their ability.
This situation is unlike. We're never going to see it again. We're talking about one of the best players of all time who's playing into his 40s, who happens to have a son that might match. We're never going to see this again. But you're right. This is pipe dream.
That is true though. It's not even really a pipe dream. It's a really it's a realistic possibility. Like Bronny is literally in the NBA draft. He wowed some people at the combine. And now all of a sudden, there is this real possibility that LeBron James and Bronny James could be on the same team by next year. I don't think that it's a bad thing to talk about.
Screw it, trade him then. Pick him and then trade him wherever LeBron wants to go. We're just kind of messing around here. But to make that decision, who is going to? Whether it's coming down from the new PBO, is Troy Weaver still going to be the GM? Cool. Talk to me about this top four, or there's a front runner. Is there a front runner?
Yeah.
Who are they leaning towards? I don't know what this team's doing. We got a draft in a month.
Yeah. Shout out to Jake L. Fisher and Vincent Goodwill of Yahoo Sports. Vincent put out an article over the weekend that got Pistons, kind of the whole Pistons world, up in arms. People on all sides of this kind of president of basketball operations thing. The 4 finalists that were announced via Vincent Goodwill and Yahoo Sports were John Hammond, Dennis Lindsey, Scott Perry. That's a familiar name. Two familiar names on there, Scott Perry and John Hammond, as well as Trajan Langdon. Dwayne Casey is still, like I said, a viable candidate for this Detroit Pistons front office player of basketball operations role. But there's just one note here that I wanted to be able to kind of shout out from this Yahoo Sports article. The front runner right now is considered to be Trajan Langdon, who just in a vacuum, if you would have asked me a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing him here if you're not getting like a Tim Connolly, who obviously the reports came out already that then that's the Minnesota and Denver Nuggets architect. He said he's not, it's highly likely he's not coming to Detroit.
Got you.
So they moved on. Now you're looking at a guy like Trajan Langdon, who's supposed to be kind of this younger guy, has this this focus on player development, this focus on identifying talent and being able to work well within a front office. He's kind of been the one that's taken his lead. But Vincent Goodwill and Jake Fisher, they felt the need, the necessity, and I've been saying this for a long time, read between the lines, and it seems like the more and more we go, each and every single month now over the last few months, a lot of the things we've been talking about since the show started and on Woodward Pistons over the last year is starting to show light. They put Langdon has climbed the ranks, starting with San Antonio and Brooklyn before going to New Orleans in his current role. During Langdon's playing days, who do you guys think was his agent?
Tellem.
Arn Tellem.
Yep.
Tellem is now the Pistons vice chairman, and the Pistons have picked up players represented by Tellem's sons through the years.
I don't want
That's amazing that now all of a sudden the articles are starting to write that. Now people are starting to kind of catch wind to the fact that things going on in this front office, they're not necessarily attributed to some of the people that are underneath this brain trust of Arn Tellem. And like I said, if Trajan Langdon is the right pick for president of basketball operations, well, then that's why you would want a guy like Arn Tellem there. But when it's proven that whatever his connections are might not be fruitful for the Detroit Pistons, that's where you have to start to really question what you do moving forward.
Why do we want another connection in there that's connected to Tellem? Isn't that what we're trying to get away from here with this PBO search, trying to clean house from all that BS?
That's what's so weird is that the Pistons had a clear GM and president of basketball operations title job open when they hired Weaver. Dude, you know what's interesting here? What was Weaver's actual title when he was OKC right before he got hired by the Pistons? A lot of people remember him as assistant GM, but that's not what he was doing at the time. He was vice president of basketball operations already with a franchise and organization that was doing things the right way.
Yeah.
Learning underneath some pretty good people, working with some pretty good people. And that's what I'm saying. I guess a lot of people think like, oh, so do you support everything that's going on? I don't. But I don't know how much has been or has not been stifled. And to your point, it does make you say, you know what? Even though I might have liked what Trajan Langdon appeared to be beforehand, it does make you just go, is he going to be the best candidate for the job? Even though he might be good, how do we know that it's a fair shake going into this search?
That's the key.
That's the key.
I don't know if I mean, you're much closer to it than I am, but I don't know if I trust that. Like,
I wouldn't.
Just from the optics and put my voice as a voice of the fans. Like, why are we getting into bed again with something, whether he's talented or not? If he's just going to be listening to what Arn Tellem and his family tells him to do, is this team ever going to get better? Or do we need someone who has no connection to it all? Or connection to Detroit, to this Detroit Pistons? Like, honestly, the more you talk about these guys that they're considering in Trajan Langdon, I'm like, man, I want Dwayne Casey back. Like, I want someone who actually cares about this organization. Yeah. I don't think he got a fair shot for a lot of these same reasons. I want someone who just cares.
There's a lot of people who had to go, and it was funny on social media, but they all had to, pull out their apology letters to Dwayne Casey and write down all the things that they thought was his fault. It's like, come on, man. You're talking about career-long winners, people who the league will tell you, no, Dwayne Casey literally had a hand in building those Raptors teams to the specifications of his coaching style, to the specifications of the types of players he wanted on the court. When we think about Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan and Valanciunas and such, I think a lot of times we think of them in their prime and just beyond their prime as they've become like super vets now. Those guys were young players with Coach Casey.
Yeah.
He developed a team full of young players into a team that eventually won a championship.
That team didn't have superstars. They had a developing Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry and Amir Johnson, former Piston great. Wasn't he on that team? That Raptors team developing, like, he would have got, I believe he would have got that championship. Nick Nurse it's similar to the Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
And not perfect similarities in terms of, I don't know all the details about the team construction and whatnot, but he was a part of that NBA championship winning Raptors team. He got the boot after winning Coach of the Year. Like, we got to remember Dwayne Casey. We don't, his teams with the Pistons were not good. It's hard to defend the records and what we saw on the court there, but like, he's a good coach. He's a good man, and we know he cares about this organization. And I know this isn't the end of the PBO conversation, but ultimately, as a Pistons fan, like, that's what I want. I want someone who cares.
Right. I do too. And
the owner doesn't.
And with Casey, the reason why those apology letters had to go out is because Casey took a team in his first year here. He took them to the playoffs. When the team decided that they were going to break things down, well, anybody, I don't care who you are, bro, bring Phil Jackson in here.
Yeah.
He's not winning too many more games than what Dwayne Casey did here with that squad. That is Trajan Langdon, by the way.
Is that?
With Jed Bushler.
Yeah, Mike Dunleavy.
Oh, that's Dave Bushner?
Oh, wow.
Where's the Dunleavy?
It looks like Dunleavy.
Dunleavy was on the Pistons?
Yeah. Yep.
Now the coach of the GM of the Warriors now, so.
Yeah. I like Trajan Langdon in college, too.
Oh, and Duke? Oh,
I like Trajan Langdon.
G.
Rake said Judd Bushler.
Judd Bushler.
Yeah.
Not Dave Bushner.
No.
Dave Bushner?
Judd Bushler. That's what I thought it was.
I know Judd.
3-point shooter, man.
We need a couple of those.
We need a couple of those.
Like Dalton Connect?
Yeah, bro. The 6'6" Dalton Connect from Tennessee.
23.
I like what he brings to the table. He's going to have more of a mature demeanor. Where he's not going to be one of those prospects that we're saying, you know what, let's wait and see when he puts on his actual strength, because he's not 18, 19, 20. He's 23 years old. With the Pistons thing, I'm looking forward to the next round of updates because obviously all of the hottest candidates to me have kind of fallen off.
Yeah.
Now I think the best of the bunch is a Trajan Langdon. If you're talking about from outside,
the Tellem people was left.
Yeah, I am intrigued by Dwayne Casey.
Great.
I really am because of everything he showed himself to be before he got here. I'm not, how do you judge people who have worked here? Stan Van Gundy came here and looked mid. Dwayne Casey, after fresh off of Coach of the Year, came here and looked mid. Monty Williams took a team to the finals, came here, looked mid. And that's the reason why I'm saying, when you continue to see this thing happen time after time after time, at some point in time, we can't continue to say, let's just get rid of these guys too. What if they're not the issue? What does that say to the rest of the league that might know the behind-the-scenes workings of what's going on here? Why would they want to come here then if the precedent is, Troy Weaver, get him out of here? What if it's not his fault? Why would somebody good say, you know what, let me go to that organization too, because no one's gonna have my back. Yeah. Let me go here too, because people know what's going on over here, but they're still gonna say, well, I don't want nobody to do with it that's been around. That's the only reason why I say, listen, when I look at who Weaver and who Casey were before they got here, I'm sorry, anybody, anybody. You look at the news around when both of those guys came to the Pistons. The collective world, not just the Detroit world, all said these are good hires. Some point in time, that has to matter. That's just me. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. I do believe it's, in my opinion, Trajan Langdon.
Just you is an opinion I want to hear. You know way more than me about this team and this structure, and I want to hear what you say to help build my opinion based on the information you have. Give us a call, by the way. Let us know your takes on whether it's the Tigers from the opening segment or this Pistons PBO situation, NBA draft situation. We got about a month until the NBA draft, so give us a call, 313-552-6322. If for me in the draft, I'm looking for any rookie that will raise the average age of this Pistons team, which you don't usually get with a draft pick, so I don't care about what he does. He's 23. I'll take him.
You know what? Let's start getting into some of these prospects that will be available for the Pistons. We can start to have some breakdowns. There's some players that I really like. There are some things to talk about. Even though I am on the side of trade to pick, you got to be ready and prepared for anything, because you just don't know quite what the Pistons will do. If they take a player in this draft, in my opinion, it's because that means that one of these other young players might be getting traded for a vet as well. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on here.
True.
But
well,
you know
come
what?
on back.
Yeah, definitely.
We want to take your calls. We want to talk Pistons. We want to talk Tigers. We also want to talk Lions, because we're going to do a little journey through their offseason.
Let's go
here when we get back. So
tell me the Shades can go back on soon?
Hell yeah, the Shades can go back on. Right. Give us a call again, 313-552-6322. This is a Woodward Sports Network Kool-Aid. Speaking of that network, what are the other shows that happen on this network? Who are the other personalities to go watch?
Hey, you know what? Thank you guys, as always, for starting your day off with the Wake Up Woodward crew. We appreciate you guys for always smashing the like button, engaging, calling in, sharing content with us, supporting us, showing up to all the live events. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it means the world to us. Thank you so much for your support of the Wake Up Woodward crew and all of Woodward sports. After us, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., you guys got to tap into Big D Energy from 11 to 1. Four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty is one of your hosts alongside Neil Rule, the Golden Voice. After that electric show that also features Spinny and KG, you can tap into Armani and Edwards with Maz, 2 to 4 p.m. The lovable radio legend Tom Mazaway with University of Michigan legend and former NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards, and king of Detroit media right now, that's Ryan Armani. And then close out your day with the Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7. The big fellas are bringing you the biggest interviews, the biggest breakdowns, and the biggest laughs. Their show, man, it's a vibe every single time. Why? Because of you guys out there. Thank you for making Woodward Sports Network the #1 digital sports network out there. And we want to be able to make this thing bigger and better. And it starts with the support that we receive from you all. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month. Or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The new Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash Pre-Roll now has diamonds in it, everybody. Look, they are constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience just for you. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers with only the highest terps, making the best, hey, even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check them out at your local retailer, or as always, you can check them out online at gloriouscanna.com.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the Woo Crew. We got 4 to 5 in the building. Flannel saying we'll be on Big D Energy today, or what, tomorrow?
No, I think he's out today.
Out today?
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll be back tomorrow, though.
All right. Hey, then that means he's going to be right here with the Wake Up Woodward Crew.
There are some Michigan questions I want to ask him about because one of the hottest topics of the weekend was like all trading spouses between Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't score stars.
Yeah.
I saw.
Wild.
Took their safety, man.
It is. I want to see what I love Michigan. I went to Michigan. I played at Michigan. I'm not going to pretend I'm like some expert Michigan historian.
Get out of here.
That's Flannel.
Bro,
No, I'll rep my school. I lean on Flannel a lot for some of the confirmations of my thought. He knows all. He knows all. You know else who knows all? Dante151. That dude knows a lot.
Shout out
Dante.
He sends himself on Twitter, great ideas and everything. He also put a super chat in last segment. The only car the Pistons should have is a clown car. This ownership is an absolute joke. Get Adam Silver, and the other NBA does nothing to stop it. Dante, thank you for the super chat. Kool-Aid, you leave that one alone. Just stay put over there. Just make your face, and that'll be good. Shout out to you, Dante. We don't have any calls, do we?
No.
Nobody calls. So feel free to call in. We want to talk Pistons.
So what are we talking about this segment, though?
We're talking about the Lions, but real quick, before we get into it.
So
I didn't watch the games live, but I heard these NBA Finals games. These games yesterday were big.
They were.
We have a Final Four set.
Man.
They were.
Yep.
Shout out to Minnesota, man,
talk to
coming
me.
back. Minnesota, they ended up coming back, man. They struggled in that first half, but they ended up coming back and getting the win. Sorry about that. And then, yeah, man.
You're forgiven.
But no, the Eastern Conference Finals are now set. You got Boston and the Pacers. Pacers get a big win too. So yeah, you got Boston and the Pacers. Then you got Dallas and Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. So man, it should be good, man. Should be good. We gonna get a new champion.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This playoffs right now has just morphed into new blood.
Yeah,
new blood NBA.
You love to see it.
I do. It's exciting. It's actually kind of like revitalizing my love for like all things NBA rather than just, being hardcore focused on the Pistons. Even before this, like the NBA as a whole was really, really, really starting to lose me. It just felt like sometimes the same script over and over and over again. At least right now, you get some new blood in this NBA playoff.
Yeah, Luka, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton,
Tier,
Right.
Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Is Kristaps Porzingis playing?
No, I think he's still
hurt.
injured.
Yeah.
He's still injured.
Yeah, there was some news that there was some reevaluation that might happen. Take place.
They've had a long rest, so maybe he does make game one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I asked because I wasn't following closely, but you guys know I collect trading cards and I buy and sell trading cards.
Mm-hmm.
One of my worst investments a couple years ago, I went pretty hard at Kristaps Porzingis rookies. But one of my best cards sold out of nowhere. It's just up on a marketplace at a crazy price.
Yeah.
It sold this weekend. I was like, did he play? Like, what's going on? Like,
No, he didn't.
They're
But
probably banking on if he wins the championship, the value of his cards go up.
That's true.
As is the Tatums, Jaylen Browns. I also want to shout out someone who I think is the most underrated player in the NBA, Drew Holiday.
Yeah, shout out.
Dude doesn't get enough love.
I've wanted him on the Pistons for like the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's that type of guy.
He's that type of guy.
He's that type of guy.
He's that type of guy. I'm excited to tap into the Final Four, I'm going to call it, these last two series in the NBA. It's been great, but Lions time.
Yes,
Let's talk
sir.
some Lions.
Let's go.
Let's talk some Lions.
Shades on, get the Lions chain on. Let's rock. Got the bat right here. Got Brad Holmes
Lions
up
won the
there.
game.
Hold me back.
Let's go.
Hold me back.
Let's go.
No, they've had an offseason for sure.
You know what? Brad Holmes energy. Let's go.
Wow, that is. Oh,
Ball heads in the building.
Trick
Cap
pull.
on.
Who
Ball
has a
head
shinier
nut.
head? Can we do a poll like that? Who has the shiniest head?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid shit
Cancel
blinding
that.
me right now.
Rephrase that. Moving on.
Let's go.
We just finished up talking about the calendar, the schedule. We just wrapped up draft talk. Stop. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I saw this article from PFF. Gave the Lions an A+ for their offseason. It was the only A+ that they handed out.
Yep.
And again, I remind you, I'm not going into PFF stats or anything, but that idea just kind of reminded me, we got to review this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got a couple months till training camp really begins. We're going to have OTAs and mini camps and whatnot over the next 2-3 months. But this offseason, man, it has been epic. And it's not just players. it's coaching, it's front office, it's been everything. So I've broken this down into 5 categories, and after I get through it, I want to hear from you guys and in the next segment, like which has been the most important or the best or most exciting. I want to hear your opinion on these different areas that have been addressed or what this Lions team has done, because I think it's been special, especially considering all of the moves, not just the players.
Yeah.
To me, actually, I'll hold off on telling you the most important part, although this one has to be up there. Let's talk about their coaching staff real quick. One of the first things they did, they retained Ben Johnson, your offensive coordinator, and your defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn.
Yes, sir.
That consistency, that bringing that back, that stability for these players coming back from losing in the NFC Championship game can't be understated. That is going to be a massive help to this team. They also went out and replaced some of their defensive coaching staff. Like they had taken a chance on a John Scott Jr., a first-year defensive line coach, a Dre Bly, a really respected name in the defensive back world and in Detroit as a cornerbacks coach. That didn't work out as they planned, so they replaced them. They upgraded. With respect to those two guys, they upgraded and went what many believe is one of the best defensive coaches, not yet a coordinator in the NFL, in Terrell Williams, and then an up-and-coming DB coach in Deshae Townsend. Terrell Williams is the defensive line coach and run game coordinator. Deshae Townsend is becoming the defensive backs coach and the pass game coordinator, the defensive pass game, and the defensive run game coordinator. And then recently, I had to break up Dan and Brad, because Brad's coming here soon. They extended Dan Campbell. They give him the nod of confidence. You're our guy. Like, it's clear as day.
That was
you
such a
get the
cool
extension,
day.
you get the bag.
That was such a cool day, too. To be able to announce that both of them got the contract extensions on the same day. That was awesome.
150%. Now over to that front office and that executive leadership. They extended Brad Holmes, too. After Dan Campbell, actually with Dan Campbell, it was the same day, right? And as this gets pulled up, I'm thinking you could put Spielman on this next list too. But they extended Brad Holmes. They signed 2 guys without a title yet, Dwayne Joseph and Tom Roth. These are two new coaches that are coming in both in the scouting department and player personnel who are going to come in and help. JB, I don't know if you have that next graphic of the front office and the executive leadership. And what I think, to me, I think the most important move that they made this offseason was retaining Mike Disner.
Yeah.
Specifically at this point in the Lions, I'm not even going to call it a rebuild. I'm going to call it the build in the Lions transformation in this, where this Lions team is in their history right now, making sure that you have Mike Disner as your COO, as the point man running the contract negotiations, making sure your salary cap situation is tight, not just for this year, but for years beyond. This is who Brandon Sosna reported to. Mike Disner, considering what the Lions needed to do this summer in terms of extending Amon-Ra, Penei Sewell, Jared Goff, all of these coaching contracts, Mike Disner might not be here for long, but keeping him this offseason, I think it was the most important offseason move for the Lions.
Yeah. And my question on Mike Disner, was he the one that identified Brad Holmes when they were searching for
He
the
was
GM?
part of that.
He was
part of
that
that team with Spielman, with Sheila, with their respected leadership group that went out and found Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell.
And Dan Campbell.
At the same time.
You're exactly right.
Arranged marriage.
You're exactly right. I just wanted to be able to point that out just to people who might not be familiar with Mike Disner's work. The guy got game.
He's been working, man, and him along with Chris Spielman, they've been kind of the people that's been secret in the background, but got a hand in a lot of what's going on. Mike Disner, he was integral in getting Calvin back in the fold and rectifying that situation as well. So he's been working, man, and him along with Rod Wood as well. Got to give him a shout out to. They've been working, man. So this was absolutely a good re-sign. He will get poached in the future because he is such a good exec. But you love to see them hold on to him at least for the next couple of years.
The first part of walking the walk, the Detroit Lions are doing that. When you see all of these people sticking around that you know could go to other organizations right now, that there's other opportunities that they could go out there and probably get a little bit more power, a little bit more authority, maybe a little bit more money, put themselves in a better position for their football future, but they're choosing to stay with the Detroit Lions for at least this window. I do believe that this organization is 100% all in for this Super Bowl run, which should excite everybody. Like, I know we talk about, like, well, yeah, they're kind of good. Yeah, they're going to be one of the top teams in the NFC. Do we fully understand and grasp the fact that the organization is showing us we are locked in for a Super Bowl run.
You should. Everybody from the owner to the players down have said this is a Super Bowl year. We're going for a Super Bowl.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're signing here. They're coming back to here. And Dan Campbell, again, year after year after year, is like, you know what? I like these guys that I'm bringing on my staff, but if I have to upgrade, I have to upgrade. Man.
It's huge. And I agree with you about the Super Bowl window, but I also think, and why I love these moves so much, and why I wanted to start with the coaching staff in the front office. And these are just a few of the names, a few of the bigger names from the offseason. But I wanted to start with them because that all plays into their free agency and their draft picks and actually developing the players, not only that they draft, but that they sign to young contract. Just because Amon-Ra and Penei sign long-term extensions doesn't mean they don't still have room to improve.
Absolutely.
So making sure that your coaching staff is tight. We know Hank Fraley, as long as he'll be here, he's one of the best offensive line coaches in the league. And Antoine Randall, one of the best wide receiver coaches in the league. Now with the defensive line coach being invigorated, the defensive back, that was the biggest issue for this team from a player, from a performance standpoint. And they went and got the right coaches to develop that talent, which leads me to the free agents and the re-signing of Lions free agents, Lions players that were set to hit the free agent market, which looking at this list, there aren't a ton of names, although DJ Reader is a name that stands out to me. Yeah. If we're being real,
Carlton
there aren't
Davis
names
too.
That, they're no star. You don't see the L'Jarius Sneed or the Christian Wilkins or the you don't see those big star names, but you see the right players coming in for the right lengths of contract, whether that's DJ Reader with a 2-year contract, paving the way for, is it Ali McNeil, Mekhi Wingo? Having him there helps out Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport and James Houston. It helps out your secondary, which was the worst part of your defense last year. That signing of DJ Reader means so much to that defense. And then you went and attacked with Carlton Davis and Amik Robertson and Marcus Davenport. Even bringing back CJ Moore, special teams guy. That's an important move. Then on the offensive end, you go get Kevin Zeitler. I know it's a 1-year deal. He's 34, turning 35. But when you think about drafting Mahogany, when you think about Colby Sorsdale developing, or Yodi, or some of these, the next up-and-comers on that offensive line, what better to be there to play in front and teach than Kevin Zeitler? That's perfect. And then when you talk about re-signing your own Lions players, Graham Glasgow, you get a 3-year, $20 million contract. Talk about a steal. That's someone who can start this year if Christian Mahogany gets better, if Gio Manu turns into Kevin Zeitler's only there for 1 year. Graham Glasgow can play right guard. He can back up Ragnow. He can back up the left guard. He's an unselfish player who finally got his extension. You got him for 3 years to help pave the way for the next offensive line, teaming up with Penei Sewell when he really hits his prime. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, a captain of the team, best special teams player in the league. You go down the list. It's, again, not star players, but it's the right players for this team. What they did in free agency, I'm so impressed with. And you go from that to these extensions of their core. You go and you get your free agents, you get your core, you get your supplemental pieces. Then you go and you re-sign Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not re-sign, extend Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, and Jared Goff. $414 million, $400+ million that they split among those three. Those are your three core pieces. Those are your major moves.
Yep.
That's got to be talked about in the Disner conversation, in this offseason conversation. These extensions are huge. They're major.
Yeah,
if you could throw those up, JB, that would be awesome.
I was going to say, too, just a couple quick comments from the chat. The
Yes,
OK
please.
Collins and Dante151 are both
Shiny head.
they're both Broderick Martin fans. They're both Broderick Martin.
Did you see that picture of Broderick Martin?
Man, he looks slim and mean.
K-Con, don't forget about Broderick Martin. Dante151. Hell, Broderick Martin lost major weight. He's looking like a monster.
Yeah, he took the Aleem approach.
Yeah, the elite. What I didn't include in this little journey is when Brad Holmes came in, when this new regime came in, they also revamped their medical team and their nutrition and dietary, all that extra training staff. That all goes into it. And I think they didn't get the best grades in terms of like cafeteria food or whatever.
Yeah,
grade, but they're making efforts to transform that part of the organization too. And we see it in Aleem. We see it in Broderick. Even Aiden Hutchinson going the other way, trying to put on weight and muscle. It's all paying off. So after the extensions of an Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, and Jared Goff, the last part of this offseason, the next one, sorry, I'm about to bounce to the next one.
You're good.
JB, the draft picks. This is the most I know Jared Goff got extended after, but the future of this team is in these draft picks. Arnold, Rakestraw Jr., Manu, Vaki, Wingo, Mahogany, all fit different roles on this team as it currently is constructed, but also for the future. These are going to be future players. I think all 6 are going to be starters by year 3, if not year 4.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm thinking, is Manu going to be a starter?
Hopefully.
These 6 are going to be starting for the Lions. We'll say it within 3 years. That's the future of this. They traded up to get guys. They went and they got their guys. So why did they get an A+ from PFF? I think these 5 segments, this journey through their offseason is it. I don't think there's any team in the NFL that can hit like the Lions did on all 5 of these sections. Some may have had better drafts, some may have had better free agencies.
But the entire
to be determined
puzzle,
to me, all of it.
Yep.
They built something for now and for the future.
Yep. And you know what? And we talked about this. They've given themselves the opportunity to be able to operate in this manner, to be able to go into the drafts and say, you know what, we just want to pick the dogs that we want to pick. Why? Because they have the ability to go into free agency and pluck some 1-year contracts if need be. They have the ability to go into free agency and get big-time impact players on decent deals like a DJ Reader. They have the ability to go and re-sign their own players who have developed. It's not just re-signing your own players. We've seen the Lions do this in the past, where most teams are going to re-sign their guys. But we're re-signing guys who are all pros. We're re-signing guys who are on trajectories to become all pros as well. The longevity aspect that Brad Holmes says he's hoping to build with, what you just displayed across all these different slides is kind of showing his mastermind, this kind of plan that he has, it's working out to fruition within 3 years.
Yeah, it's not just one piece. He's attacking all 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a puzzle. And it's a beautiful.
Yeah.
Put it all together.
Shout out Lions. This is a Lions video straight from Lions
Straight
Twitter.
From Lions.com.
Shout out to the Lions. Got to give them attribution. KG.
What's up?
Of those 5, like what stands out to you? What's been your favorite part of this offseason? And interpret that as you please.
Definitely the player acquisition part of it. Brad Holmes, and I respect Brad Holmes so much. He came out and told y'all exactly what he was going to do, and he went and did it. To your point about there's not a lot of names here, he told you, I'm not looking for headlines in May. I'm looking for what's going to happen in December. To your point about, he was very strategic in everything he did this offseason. He realized there was a weakness on this defense. He saw what we all saw in that NFC Championship game and down the stretch in the postseason. He attacked it with a vengeance, to the point where he really just made a lot of acquisitions defensively. There weren't really a lot of acquisitions on offense. Most of this offseason was defense, but you went and got DJ Reader. You went and you doubled up on corner in the draft, which was a huge weakness, our backfield, man. On top of trading for Carlton Davis and getting Amik Robertson, some veterans in the room. Like, Brad Holmes has done everything that he said he was going to do, and he's executed. So you got to respect it, man, and we just hope it plays out on the field. But even he's accounted for everything, like injuries. He's versatility is very big in this locker room.
Yep.
So versatility.
Hey, look, man, he's been cooking, and I know we have to see it on the field this year, but to see the trajectory that they're already on, it's why I stand in solidarity with my shiny ball brother right here, Brad Holmes.
I can't say that, but yes. I want to ask JV. I want to ask Justin too about some of these moves when we get back from break. But Kool-Aid, one thing we didn't talk about much was how Brad Holmes, he did trim off some of the fat. He had to get rid of some of the players, whether it was they were tired or he just had to move on from them. Where else can you go get a trim?
You can get a trim from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, and let me tell you, it's awesome. I can tell you what awesome is. It's when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. And if you got no hair like me, I got a little bit of hair, but they can shape you up pretty nice as well and have you looking right when you need it most. Stop in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
at work, and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed, because it's technology backed by people. Your safety and security, it deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. All you got to do is call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT. Welcome back to Woodward Sports Network. Now, what up, though, people?
What up, though?
Thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the Waco Woodward crew. We got 4 to 5 here, plus Justin, our 6th man as well. What up, though, Justin?
What up? Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's
That
get it.
Stars
Let's get
jersey,
it.
man, it just kills me. They're still in it, right?
Oh, yeah. 1 and double OT on Friday in Colorado to clinch it up. You'll be seeing me on Big D Energy spitting it with Neil later.
Nice.
Coming at you, Neil. Better watch out.
What was it like growing up in Dallas?
Yo.
I don't know.
Well, you telling me you didn't grow up in Dallas?
No, they're my B team. So when I was a kid, I really liked Tyler Sagan, who played for the Bruins.
Stud.
And then
For the Bruins?
And then he went to Dallas, and I started rooting for Dallas when he went to Dallas, and so they're my B team. I root for them. I really like them, and they were my pick for the cup in the beginning. So now we're chilling. Now we're vibing. We're on the train.
Chilling and vibing.
Blues Brett Hall, Stars Brett Hall, or Red Wings Brett Hall?
Red Wings Brett Hall.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you.
Oh, I've defended myself enough in chat where chat knows I'm Red Wings all day, every day. They're not in the playoffs though, and I picked the Stars to win, so I got her up the Stars.
Yeah, I'm just picking on you a little.
I know. It's all love, all love.
Shout out to the chat family. As always, you guys are the most important part of this show. Smash that like button if you have. Encourage somebody else to do the same. Let's get to that likes goal, and let's blast on beyond that. Broder,
yes,
good work as well in this Lion segment.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kool-Aid. Mr. Aid.
Mr.
Aid.
Let's go.
Mr. Smooth, I want to ask you, we were talking about this journey of the Lions offseason.
Yes, sir.
What area was your favorite, JB? Like, whether it was your favorite or what was best for the team, like, take it wherever you want.
I don't know. I think there's 2 areas, honestly, that you can, assume that are the favorites. As you said, the free agent signings. You don't see that big name on here. You don't see the Chris Jones or the Josh Allen, someone like that. I mean, DJ Reader is a very big name, but at the same time, it's the quality that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell sees in each and one of these players that he chooses to sit out here and re-sign and bring back again. And also the extensions as well, too. The staples that you put here, that these are the pillars of this team that you really want to cement and be here for a long time. As Jared Goff said, I'm going to be here for a while. So just sit back and relax. It's Jared Goff, it's Amon-Ra, it's Panay. These are guys that everyone is going to look at in the locker room as the leaders, the people that you look up to the most. So those are the 2 areas for me, extensions and the free agencies.
Do you guys think there's anything more that they need to do before the season starts? And hey, now I'll steer you in the direction of 2 positions: wide receiver and safety.
And safety.
And safety. Feel free to go. Maybe edge rusher is an area you want to address still, but what do you guys think? Should they be done? Is there someone who's out there that they should go after? Are you comfortable with their wide receiver room or their safety room or that edge rushing room? I hear Mekhi Wingo has been lining up across from offensive tackle. Shout out to Jeff Risdon.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I'm really interested to see what this current squad is. Obviously, they could always use some help. But last year, when they were at the trade deadline, they let it pass. There were a lot of people who thought that this team didn't do enough to be able to kind of give themselves a boost for the playoffs. And we all looked wrong, realistically. So going into the season, yeah, I would like to see them be able to go and add a big body receiver, but we don't know what DPJ is going to be able to do here with the Lions. It's like every single time I start to begin to think, you know what, I would like to see the Lions do this, you realize there's some players here in this squad, some value picks, some value signings, some value, drafted players from the past that I believe Brad Holmes is going to show a belief in. And that's, to me where I'm like, you know what, maybe that there's some guys, some hidden gems here on this squad that are going to reveal themselves, and we're going to be like, okay, we see the mastermind at work that was Brad Holmes. And as it relates to why he didn't make this or that move.
Yeah, so you're pretty content with how they are now. Maybe this is a time where last year wasn't the time to dive into the trade market at the deadline to go get a Chase Young or someone for a rental. Maybe this year you see how this team is, and then you go make that move. Is that a strategy you're rolling with, JB, or are you looking to maybe, like Big Dan Davis said, go get a Justin Simmons?
Yeah, you said JB, though.
Did I say JB?
Yeah,
you
did.
did.
JB.
So, are you addressing JB or KG?
Let's start. I was looking at you.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking dead at you.
I was looking
you
right
called me
into your
JB.
He will get it from both of you.
But
hey, yo,
he said it first. It's just
what did I say? Somebody, anybody?
we are silly today.
Yeah, I know.
So, KG,
yes.
Justin Simmons, eh?
No, well,
Andre Diggs?
I would absolutely love that. But, you should never be, quote, quote, done. I think they will continue to scout and see what's out there and leave themselves open in case a move should arise. We know Brad is he's not just going to move, but when he feels that the time is right, he will get aggressive. He will go make a move. But as is right now, this team is ready to go. As is. The only thing that I would personally want is an edge rusher. Maybe you can get that post-camp, during some of the training camp cuts. And we also have to look out for, the trade deadline within the season.
Yep.
This is a Super Bowl window that we are now in. Everybody's acknowledged that. And I think that, the Jared Goff deal, them ripping up the last year of his previous deal and lowering the cap hit for this year, leaves themselves open to make a move in case something happens. So
that's a great point.
But only if there's a move to be made. But hopefully we stay relatively healthy. But if not, or if he feels there's a need somewhere to help push this team to get us to the Super Bowl, I feel like he'll make that move this year.
The cool thing about this is that since they know and they've admitted they're in their Super Bowl window and they know the type of team they have, even more so this year than they did last year, I am more intrigued now by the trade deadline. If they believe that they're just an edge rusher away, is this the year now that Brad Holmes says, you know what? I know that if I make this one signing, that this will land us in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. And I'm going to continue to say this over and over and over and over and over again. Brad Holmes and this organization has put themselves in a position to where realistically they can kind of take their time. They can assess. They can make the right decisions when they need to.
Yeah.
Because of everything they've done up to this point.
And they putting players in positions to improve. Like, we want to see J-Mo get more targets this year. They showing a lot of trust in DPJ to take over that third wide receiver role. You still got Khalif Raymond coming back. Like, this team is good. We're solid as is. And like I alluded to earlier, the versatility on this team, like, they have moves upon moves that they can make if somebody goes down, or if they feel like on a per matchup basis, this matchup is better than another matchup. So they're ready to go, man. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Lions this year.
Definitely. And just one more time, KG.
What up?
Great job on the desk.
Oh, thank you, man. Stop it.
I realized, I was like, wait, I think we talked about it earlier, but I didn't know if he was here or not.
No, I was not.
Hey, good job on the desk, brother.
Thank you.
Deserve the
I
opportunity.
appreciate it. I think I'll be on today as well with the heavyweights. So
nice.
LFG.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fire up,
Filling in for
KG.
Easy one more time.
Level up. Let's rock, man. Keep crushing the opportunities, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Man, it's always dope seeing a homie succeed.
Yes.
It is.
JB or KB. KB's move. They need to make him another move.
I think Brad is always looking to improve, but I think at this point right now, he's going to stay solid and steady with the team that he has. Obviously, once training camp gets here, he's going to evaluate a little bit more of these players to see what he has out there. But I think he's always looking for something, but he doesn't make it known. Like, there doesn't need to be a jump to leap to go and trade the first couple picks just to get a star, free agent, if anything. I'm not looking at safety, maybe wide receiver, or as KG said, an edge but I think he has people in mind, but he just doesn't want to voice that opinion just yet because he wants to evaluate the rookies that he has right now and the talent that's coming back. So I think it's just a wait and see period.
Yeah, there are always players that go down during training camp, unfortunately, both on the Lions and around the league. And when you think the trade deadline scenario and offseason, but trade deadline specifically, the players, the positions that are usually available is those high-priced, up-and-coming high-priced positions like wide receiver, like edge rusher, that teams out of the playoff race are willing to move on from because they know they're about to command a bag and their time to compete isn't coming up, so they got to use that money elsewhere. I personally don't want to see them do anything to the wide receiver room. I won't complain if they get another edge rusher, if they go get a Justin Simmons or a Quandre Diggs, as long as it doesn't take up too much money. But again, I trust Brad Holmes and the money situation. But I want to see more targets to J-Mo and to DPJ and to Conleaf. We don't know how good Antoine Green's going to be. I think Isaiah Williams, undrafted free agent rookie out of Illinois, I think he's going to be a player that very well could contribute on this team, on this 53-man roster this year. Again, Jeff Risdon, we're hearing really good things out of training camp from him. His ability to separate at the line of scrimmage and his speed on the field, not just his 40 time, which wasn't so great, but what he does on the field. I want to see more out of that. And you talk about versatility. When you talk about a wide receiver room or around the nationally, say wide receivers, they don't bring up Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. Those are guys that can get more targets too. Like we didn't see, we only saw Jahmyr Gibbs scratch the surface, not of his entire game, but also catching the ball. Like he was barely in the pass game last year, which a lot of us, including myself, thought that might be where he starts out getting the most targets. Have D-Mont run the show from the backfield for the first year, and then have Gibbs come back maybe at the end of this season or this year. And no, he was as much of a running back as anything. I want to see him get a couple more targets. There are plenty hands to feed already, and I think they're talented too. So just because there's not that 6'4", 6'5", outside Truex, Elgato, if you're in the chat, talking right to you, my guy. They got the right guys for this offense, for Jared Goff specifically, and for Ben Johnson to create mismatches all over the field.
Definitely, man. And you know what? That's where my mind went when you said Jahmyr Gibbs. When we did see him get into the middle of the field against linebackers, when we did see him catch the ball out of the backfield, he was unguardable. Unguardable. The first move was always a miss. Always a miss. You talking about a good 4 or 5 yards. And this offseason, to me, represents one where obviously it's the expectation. They know where they're trying to get. They know that they're built for it. But the entire wide receiver room, this should be the most consistent that Jared Goff has had all offseason, especially when you include the 2 running backs. You know, because they've made changes every single year as it relates to the running back room, as it relates to some of their wide receivers. This one is locked in. I believe everybody on the wide receivers and everybody within the running back rooms, they were all here last year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and Sam Laporta, they were all here. So this and J-Mo gets a full summer to work. Gets a full summer to work. They did everything they did last year with this offense with a little bit of cohesion. Obviously, there was some familiarity and some comfortability between Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff. But this is the summer where this team gets to go and focus on just becoming this more cohesive, kind of chemistry-laden team where Jared Goff gets that time. And we know the timing, the rhythm, that matters a lot to any quarterback, especially with a Jared Goff. And so I'm really looking forward to what this offense can be behind this elite offensive line.
That chemistry is the key. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones in for Josh Reynolds. I think the Lions got more talented on their wide receiver room with Donovan Peoples-Jones there. Did they get better? That's to be determined because of the chemistry. Josh Reynolds, his connection with Jared Goff, it's hard to put a number to that, like how important that was. So, well, I think Donovan Peoples-Jones is more athletic. He's taller. He has just as good a hands as Josh Reynolds. Is he trusted by Jared Goff? Does Jared Goff look for him on those first down routes, on those third down routes? What do you have something to say about DPJ? Or I was going to ask you, is J-Mo that number 2 officially now?
Well, he would have to be, because you put a lot of draft stock into the guy. He's had a slow start to his career. Let's not make any mistakes about it, but his potential is absolutely through the roof. When they drafted him, it was to either be a number 1 or number 2 receiver. So them giving him the vote of confidence this year to go ahead and take that role, we're going to feature you, we're going to target you, I think that speaks volumes. And I really just wanted to say that Jared Goff is working with the receivers. He on the flagship station, we all know who I'm talking about. He did a couple interviews. He said that in March they did a lot of working out, throwing and stuff like that. And now since they've been in Detroit,
to my ears.
Yeah, and now since they've been in Detroit this month, they are starting to work as well. So
music to my ears.
They are going to be ready. That offense is going to be ready.
The electric in the air. Shout out to the movie Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell.
Come on.
Oh, that's
a good movie.
Classic. Love it.
That's a throwback.
You play soccer?
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then I have seen it.
Just give it to the Italians.
Sione Vacchi. That was the name I didn't bring up in the weapons and the wide receiver, running back.
Yeah.
Sione Vacchi.
That's that versatility.
Versatility. Well, let's take a break. Get your mailbag questions in early. We'll come back. We got time to chop it up a little bit. We can get right into what's trending with JB Smooth. But Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Brad Holmes has added so much depth to this team. So much
depth.
He's hedged all of his bets.
Look at all.
We talking about depth?
We talking about depth?
Look at all of it.
He's hedged all of his bets. He's got insurance for injuries with who he's drafted and signed. Tell him maybe who he went to for that insurance.
Hey, you know what? Now more than ever, maybe he realized it was critical for him to have his insurance reviewed.
Word.
Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees or raising those deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. 313-530-1698. Shout out to Flannel again. That number is 313-530-1698. Visit SwissINS.com online and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month. Or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Hey guys, you tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch? Well, let me tell you right now, it's a new era in sports wearables with new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Do yourself a favor. Go to woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week, but I got to tell you about the ones we got up on screen here right now. We got the Tiger sweatshirts. I know they improved themselves this weekend. You got to give them credit. Go out there, rep the Tigers. Get some merch for them. You know Kool-Aid's got about 4 or 5 of these in his closet already. The Welcome to Detroit sign t-shirts.
We can skip over that one?
Not for me, but if you want them, go ahead, buy them.
I need that on a hat.
You know we got the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes election
hat.
t-shirts, hoodies, hats as well too. Training camp is coming up. You gotta show out, and show out you will with going to woodwardsports.com, clicking on that shop tab, getting some Lions gear, baby.
Let's go. What up, dope people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. As always, we appreciate you guys for kicking off the day and your week, your business week with Wake Up Woodward. We got 4 to 5 in the building. It's been an awesome show. The chat has been engaging. If you guys want to call in, definitely the phone lines are open. 313-552-6322. That number again, 313-552-6322. And shout out to the chat. Just kind of piggybacking on what we were just talking about as it relates to the wide receivers and the quarterback. Alan W., he said, the thing I always say when people bring up DPJ is that he had 800 yards, an 800-yard season in Cleveland. Josh Reynolds hasn't done that once in his career, and DPJ is younger.
And he did that with Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Wow.
That's true, too.
We were just talking about the fact that this isn't an offseason where Jared Goff is trying to understand how to play in the NFL like a rookie or a younger quarterback would be. This team is a team that has guys that realistically have proven themselves, except for J-Mo, in the NFL's wide receivers, as well as Jared Goff as a leader. They're able to just really work on getting better from a standpoint of chemistry, because these people have put on paper already what they are, from Amon-Ra St. Brown to Sam Laporta to DPJ. We're looking forward to seeing what J-Mo can be, but it's really awesome to know that this is being done with Jared Goff at the helm, and like you said, out a guy like Baker Mayfield, for better or for worse.
Do you think Jared Goff is complacent where he is now? Do you think he got the taste of success with the Rams or with the Lions, and he's just gonna just be a quiet, calm, nice guy, quarterback who he'll say what he's supposed to? No, man, this guy's a competitor too. We saw with Amon-Ra St. Brown naming off the 16 wide receivers that were taken before him. What Jared Goff has, what he does, his mind, to me, his brain, is probably his best attribute as a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, and JB reminded me of this in break. He remembers every single wide receiver that he's thrown a pass to in his career. Every one.
It's a lot of receivers.
How many is that, JB?
I didn't get to watch the full video, but it's a lot. He rattles these off.
I'm going to count it. You have the video to play?
Let's go.
Yep,
I'm going to count. Counter, everybody.
Right. St. Brown, Khalif, Jameson, Josh Reynolds, Sam Laporta, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, Swift, Gibbs, James Mitchell. Hawkinson. I threw one to Justin Jackson. Cephas, DJ Chark. Yeah, of course. That's right. Okay, Kabinda. And then I go back to LA now. Jeez. Okay, Todd Gurley, Malcolm Brown, Tyler Higbee, Cooper, Woods, Cooks, Cam Akers. Gerald Everett. Darrell Henderson. Jeez, yeah. Let me go back to my rookie year. Jeez, all right. Like Tavon.
He goes back to his rookie year.
Lance Kendricks. Van Jefferson. Yeah. Sammy Watkins.
I forgot Sammy Watkins.
That's hard. That's hard to jog my memory. I even forgot my rookie year even existed for a second. But yeah, I love all those guys, and I'm thankful they all got in the end zone for me.
Shout out to the 33rd team for that.
That's 33rd.
So how many was that?
I counted 29.
29?
Jeez.
Yeah, 29 different wide receivers. Or pass catchers.
Damn.
Anybody else have a different number?
Good.
Oh, my, Denver Blair.
It says 26, yeah.
26?
Yeah.
Oh, the Decker touchdown.
26, 28.
Oh, yeah, the Taylor Decker, yeah.
It could have been 30 or 27 or 28.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's cool, too, to see this kind of relationship between Jared Goff and the fans of the Detroit Lions. It's really cool because he's responding to it. You talked about, is there going to be some type of complacency? No, I know Jared Goff wants to win the Super Bowl, but to want to do it for these people, for Detroit, that I also see as well. Like, he wants to make this city proud. And I absolutely love that about who Jared Goff is continuing to show himself to be. Like, he's resonating. He's hearing the Jared Goff chants. You see him kind of playing into some of this stuff sometimes. And I absolutely love it, man. Like, what a time to be alive as a Detroit Lions fan, observer, in media. It doesn't matter. If you're anywhere in proximity to the Detroit Lions, it's a great time to be around the Lions.
It's a great time to be around the Lions. It's also a great time to be around JBSMOOOOOV.
That's right.
With 8 O's and 2 V's? Is that it? Is that
something like that? Something like that.
Something around there.
Well, I'm going to ask you, Clay, will you introduce the introduction?
I will. You know what? It's time to get something cooking.
Cooking.
JB Smooth. Let's rock.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Bizzle.
Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What up, baby?
Let's ride.
Nothing much. Look, I hope you guys had a good weekend, but there was a lot going on this weekend that we didn't really get to touch on. So
that's why we have you.
Let me start with this, because I don't know if you guys were checking out ESPN News over the weekend, but does anybody know what the hell the Microsoft Excel World Championship is?
What?
What?
I've heard of it.
Way.
I don't know what the hell this is.
Why does Justin know what this is?
Yeah, why do you know what this is? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I've heard of this before, actually. They literally like get a document and they try to do the document with like a bunch of different elements of Excel, and it's actually a championship.
It's competitive PowerPoint.
What? How is this a thing?
Who can hit the slide the fastest?
This is like the spelling bee, but the Excel version.
I guess.
Are we? If it's on ESPN, even though it's on ESPN News, we're not considering excelling a sport, right?
It might be.
No. We have to make the decision No. What athleticism
don't
goes
discriminate against the nerds,
not
man.
discriminate. Believe me, I wish I could excel at Excel.
I wish I could excel at Excel.
I wish I was good at that, because you can save so much time, but I'm not going to sit around and let people convince me that's a sport. That does not identify as a sport.
Listen, Stephen A. Smith, we are not going to disrespect. We are not going to disrespect the people that can make. How good are you at making spreadsheets?
Bro, wait. Hold on, bro. You just called him the Stephen A. Smith from the Microsoft Excel League?
He's disrespecting all the pocket protector people out there that put their hard work and dedication into making these Excel spreadsheets, into making these PowerPoints. Shout out to them.
Are you going to be welcome back on Michigan's campus?
You might not.
Was it?
I'm with KG here.
There's a stray in there somewhere.
I know they use Microsoft
the
Excel.
hours of paper cuts that they went through to get here.
Paper cuts.
So KG, are you ready to throw Excel into the Olympics?
Why not?
Oh my God. You know U.S. would lose.
Rake said, whoa. I make and work on spreadsheets all day. I'm no nerd.
I am not saying it's easy.
Bro, this is just like everybody can get it.
Right?
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's not a sport.
Look at real Stephen A. right now. That's
Like,
all I'm
well,
saying.
MTV used to actually be music television. It ain't anymore. This is the first step to it being an absolute joke of a network.
Hey, Eric Allen said, I work Excel spreadsheets every day. I'm creating one right now as the show progresses.
I work hard.
At Broder.
The amount of respect I have for all of it. It is hard, and it is one of the most time-saving things you could ever learn. I'm impressed. I think you guys are great. You're not an athlete because you can do an Excel formula.
Yeah, okay.
What about esports?
Bro, he just ruled Microsoft Excel League.
I don't know if I'm ready to. At least it has E in front of it. Like where there's we're not a sport, but we're an electronic sport. They're not going in the Olympics.
Oh, they will be.
They will.
It's not going to be the
Olympics.
Oh, yeah, they will be.
Oh, yeah?
It's very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Tell me why.
Tell me why? Because it takes concentration. It's very strategic. There are every element to every sport. And also it's it can be team sport. Most games, you have to either play with a duo, you have to play with a quad.
Right, tell him.
Like it takes just as much teamwork as a sport. I'm a huge gamer. I'm on the esports is a sport, 100%.
I'm appalled at you, man, with your old ideals and the way you think. It's 2024. Excel is a sport. Excel is a sport.
I did not expect this to go this way. I really did.
Can you imagine the injury reports like KG's out with carpal tunnel?
Right. Man. Hey, I got a bruised finger, man. I got a bruised finger.
Bruised finger. He's out for 2 weeks.
Oh
now.
my gosh. No, bro, the chat is loving it as well.
My God.
What the frick?
You win the championship.
Oh my God. Moving on, because I did not expect that to go this way. But there's still some other things look out for over the weekend. There was a flying inflatable horse taking over the freeways today. Check this out.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so we know we got rain the other day.
That's an elephant.
It is.
Yeah, it was an elephant literally flying all over the place. Crash it in 15 Mile, actually, to be
Where'd
precise.
that come from?
Shout out Bloomfield Bounce House, right, Stick? Real talk. Go to Bloomfield Bounce House for all your bounce house needs.
Well, yeah, so that happened. And also, I'm on full Caitlin Clark watch as well, too, over the weekend because some stuff happens. I don't know. My girl needs to toughen up a little bit more. She's complaining to the refs and getting a little out of line.
This ain't college.
Yeah. Started her first season, 0-3 right now. And then, welcome to the WNBA. Pow!
Yeah, she got brick shit house.
Yeah, welcome to the WNBA.
It was just like, she like, bow!
Jeez.
Wow.
Very painful.
Yeah, man.
Very painful.
You in the big leagues
It's
now.
like, in the face.
It's a Brianna Ionescu getter.
Yeah, that's what it looks
she
like.
got her.
Is that Brianna Stewart?
Yeah, it is.
Brianna Stewart. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People were like, bro, did any of her teammates say anything to her?
Nope.
Yeah.
Because you don't hear nothing.
That's your welcome to the WNBA moment.
Yeah.
It really
from her
is.
teammates.
Right.
Like, you know what? She talked too much.
She talks too much.
We caught that hiccup. Don't play.
Yeah, we caught that, man. Stop trying to see all that. But quick, I gotta ask you on this one.
Yeah.
Is this disrespectful? This is your boy Paul Pierce to
Oh,
Jalen
God.
Brunson.
Paul Pierce. What a wild ride.
What you say, homie? What?
That is a Jalen Brunson New York Knicks jersey. And Paul Pierce is just stomping on it.
whatever, bro.
Y'all
For
talking?
what?
Y'all still talking? Huh?
Why does he hate
Y'all
Jalen
still
Brunson?
talking,
I
huh?
don't know.
Can't believe you, huh? What you say? Y'all still talking? Nah,
Like, they didn't even play in the same era, bro.
Paul Pierce be doing
What you say,
whatever,
homie?
man.
But Paul
What?
Pierce, give that man a platform, bro.
What?
Get him back in the retirement
What you
home.
say,
Get him out of here.
Y'all
Give
talking?
him a
Y'all still
platform.
talking?
He's
I
hilarious.
will watch a reality TV show with Paul
Y'all
Pierce.
still
Seriously,
talking,
he's
huh?
hilarious.
Can't believe you, huh?
He could be
Shout out to NBA Central for that one.
I'm
But that was
telling
out of
you,
line.
Real quick. That was NBA Central.
Yeah, that was NBA Central,
Okay.
but that was out of line.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'd
that's
expect
pretty
Spike
wild.
Lee to do that after the Knicks losing like that, but that's crazy. Why is Paul Pierce doing that? He's not
I
a
don't
Knicks
know.
fan.
Is he a Celtic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And a
No,
Wizard. And a
I mean,
whole
that's
bunch
why
of
he was
other
doing that,
teams, but-
stomping out the Jalen Brunson jerseys and all of that.
Oh, because they're the enemies?
Yeah. I wish we could get some old head Pistons to do that as well, like some old Chicago Bulls jerseys.
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious. I
Burn
really
them down.
do. But no,
That'd be
bro,
interesting.
Put Paul Pierce on TV, though. I'm in
Exactly.
agreement.
Exactly.
He is
that.
Put
hilarious.
him back on TV?
Put on Instagram.
Put him
Live.
on some type of platform.
Yeah.
Brother said it right. Put him back on Instagram Live.
Him and that stripper video is epic, man. It will forever live in infamy. The man got fired from ESPN after that shit, man. Like,
He can do the play-by-play for the Excel championships.
he might
Shots at this Excel championship, man.
Language of origin, please.
All right.
know we won't be seeing you
Language
there,
of
bro.
origin, please.
And finally, I'm going to send this one over to Justin. He sent over a video of his epic weekend. So, Justin, please explain what is going on here.
Oh boy.
So shout out Ganja White Night and Red Rocks. I went to a show there this weekend.
I've never been to Red Rocks, but I hear it's amazing. It looks pretty cool.
It's a lot of lights.
There's
What's
a lot
going
of
on?
lights,
Talk to
man.
me.
So
Don't give me epilepsy, man.
I mean, this is in the
Skrillex
middle.
concert?
Pretty much. The artist is Ganja White Night. They are a big DJ from, I believe it's Belgium, but they host something called Wobble Rocks every year at Red Rocks. And
Wobble
this
Rocks.
is it was their third year, and it's just, you walk up into these huge mountains where there's these huge red rocks, obviously, and then you overlook the city of Denver. You can't really see it, but in the background, those lights behind the stage is the city of Denver. So you overlook the city in the mountains while you're going to a concert. It is one of the most gorgeous venues I've ever been to. One of the coolest concerts I've ever been to. Was headbanging, was throwing my hair around, having a great time.
Hey.
And shout out my sister and her boyfriend were the ones who took me. So absolutely awesome, absolutely epic. If you ever have a chance to go see Red Rocks, whatever type of music that you like, they have every type at some point. Go see it. Greatest venue I've ever been to. And shout out Kyle. He actually asked me about my weekend and remembered that I went to Ganja White Night.
Kyle in the chat?
Yeah, Kyle in the chat about
Nice.
30 minutes ago.
Hey, shout out
Nice.
Terry in the
Shout
chat
out.
says, how was the Molly there?
Molly.
I wouldn't know anything about Miss Molly.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Big booty, big booty, big booty.
Miss
Shout out
James,
to
but not
EDM
Sylvia.
still being
What's
alive,
trending,
man.
fellas? Back to you on the desk.
Shout
Let's
out
rock,
to you,
man.
baby.
Let's
Shout
rock.
out. Also, shout out to Dante, who also shout out another team, and you put it in the chat earlier too. $4.99. Thank you, Dante151. Shout out to the Buffalo Bandits for winning back-to-back is it National Lacrosse League championship titles this past Saturday against the Albany Firewolves with a 15-13 victory.
Okay.
I mean, it's still
Shout
not
out the Buffalo Bandits.
Shout out, man.
Still not a micro XL world championship,
Right.
but whatever, you know.
You put that back down. You put that down, JP.
You a hater,
That's not
man.
a sport. ESPN.
You a hater, brother.
Excel on ESPN.
It's on ESPN. It's a sport.
Oh man, you know
is cornhole a sport?
It could.
It is on there.
Competitive cornhole,
darts.
That's
slapping,
on there too.
That's
on there
that is
too.
The
a
more I
sport.
think about it, the more trash TV is these days.
You just realized it there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll get all Stephen A. and you guys. We do have to take a quick break. but
Stephen A. Broder?
We're going to come back and we're going to get
Stephen A. Broder.
right back into this.
Go.
Yeah.
Get your mailbag questions in.
Where we going?
I swear, if you push me towards an Excel argument here, we're gonna
You sound a little mad. You
Hey,
can't make a
Jeff
spreadsheet.
Family, get your competitive Excel League questions in the chat for the Feldman Automotive mailbag segment. Broder cannot wait to answer all of your questions and break this thing down.
Take Broder 4 hours to make a spreadsheet. They doing it in 5 minutes.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I wish I could.
Oh,
Actually, I won't go there. Saruki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. It's taking over Michigan. They got locations popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. They're known for their quality, hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. Be sure to stop in and try it at a mega station near you or go to www.sorokis.com.
Let's go.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. It's called the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations, so there's got to be a Feldman dealership in your backyard. So visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Also catch Woodward Sports, our show, and Big D Energy is there once a month on a Tuesday or Wednesday out at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. Feldman Chevrolet, they are Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Let's rock. What up, though? People, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. As always, we appreciate you for choosing to kick off the day with the Woo Crew.
Wake up.
Greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't. Appreciate you guys, man. We got through the goal. Let's take this thing as high as it can as we get through the rest of the show. We got the mailbag presented by Feldman Automotive Group.
Feldman Automotive Group.
Let's go.
This is our mailbag segment. Let's get into it. I got a couple from earlier in the show, but keep putting them in the chat.
Why don't you read this one?
Mailbag, Stephen A. Smith. Can you explain how you've used pivot tables in a previous project to analyze and summarize data?
He can't tell you.
I'll tell you how to pivot away from that. Mailbag, Nail Edgington. Is Jared Goff, this is from Nate Edgington, mailbag, is Jared Goff the best quarterback to ever play for the Detroit Lions?
I mean, it's hard not to argue that. Stafford may still have all the franchise records and all that stuff, but he's done more in one season than Stafford did in 12 years here. Yep. And I'm a Stafford supporter. So there it is. I think you got to put him down.
You still booing them kids, though, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Boo them motherfucking kids. You know it.
Let's ahead. Scott Mitchell, Rodney Peete, Matthew Stafford.
Dante Culpepper.
Jared Goff, I forget who put it in. Dante Culpepper. I put it in the chat earlier. He's definitely the most the most successful quarterback in the line, or the quarterback for the Lions' most successful season.
Yeah.
He's on his way to becoming the best. I think you have another year like last year. Even without winning the Super Bowl, I'll put you there. You get to the Super Bowl, you're there already.
That was going to be my question: is does he have to get to or win a Super Bowl to be able to kind of ascend to the top of the quarterback list for Detroit Lions history?
It ain't much to surpass. You got Bobby Lane and Matt Stafford. That's all you really got. So I mean,
Eric Kramer, Herb Nash reminded me. That's a good one. Chef Tuck's Lions, Scott Mitchell was garbage.
Yeah, Eric Kramer ain't really do nothing either.
How about this?
Man, y'all ain't giving me no Charlie Batch love?
Hell
no.
What? Hell no, man.
No thanks.
Man,
Lions
no,
Roar,
man.
One Pride Talk asked earlier. He's probably going to be moving back to Michigan in the next year. Where's somewhere affordable to move to? And if so, what are some areas in Detroit I should look at?
Maybe Taylor. I know Westland. They have a lot of cheaper housing out there as well. So don't know exactly where you want to move, but you know those are a couple of suggestions.
There's some cheaper apartments in the city as well. My sister just moved down there, right by the river. She can see Caesars right, probably a mile from the Rensen.
Yeah,
it's a very nice neighborhood, and I enjoy being down there when I'm down there. So that as well.
Yeah.
You want Dearborn in the chat, Kimball Township, Southfield,
Ferndale,
Southfield is expensive now.
Yeah,
Clawson, Berkeley.
Clawson wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, Berkeley's nice too.
I used to live in Clawson for a year and a half.
Heights
It was a
is
good place.
decent.
Yeah, there's a ton of places. Lions Roar, One Pride Talk. Reach out when it does get closer. If it's happening, reach out. We'll give you some. We'll gather who you are, what you're looking for. You know,
right?
If you're a 23-year-old, you just graduated college, go to Royal Oak or go to Ferndale. But things change. I don't know if you have a family. Great question, though. Freddie Felt, 313 mailbag. Am I wrong for wanting a Pacers-Wolves NBA Finals? Both teams actually play defense and have the most depth. This could truly be the first team ball finals since the 05 Pistons Spurs.
Well, no, I'll be for it. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. It's the new blood playoffs at this point in time, but Pacers and Timberwolves, who you guys looking to see, man? Because I predicted Celtics to get there. I believe that they would provide the best matchup against either one of the Western Conference representatives.
I want to see Boston and the Mavs, and I'm a Kyrie fan. I know that's controversial to say. I don't know if it still is, but I like Kyrie Irving. I think he's an okay person, man, and I also think that him with Luka, one of the best offenses we've seen in quite some time. It's just about can they hold up defensively.
I was gonna say I like the appeal of kind of the two stars on each side for the Celtics, as well as for the Mavericks. And you know what? Shout out to Mike Curtis as well. Talk about being able to go from being the Detroit Pistons beat writer for the Detroit News to now being at the Dallas Morning News, covering Luka and Kyrie in this squad throughout the entire playoffs.
Well, you know Rod a little better than all of us. Like, do you think Mike Curtis is sending him some texts of like, "Hey, look at what's going on"? Like to go mid-season, to go from this Pistons specifically this season to now a team one series short of the NBA Finals. Yeah. Come on, dude.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
he does great work. I'm happy for people that get to cover winning teams like you did with the Lions and do.
Hey. I don't know what
I'll get there one day.
Silky Johnson, mailbag. The Detroit Marathon is in 5 months. How long would it take the Wake Up Woodward crew to run a marathon?
Oh,
5 months.
Right, seriously.
Was it 26.8? A full marathon? 26.8, I think. 26 point something.
I could do it no training.
Oh, you watch your
you crazy.
I mean, I'm still technically a college athlete.
Yeah, he's young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Bicep curls? You got your 12-ounce curls?
What motion is it?
Wow. He's trying to say drinking beer.
Damn, bro.
You guys are just trying to get me in all these inappropriate actions.
Oh my god. Diabolical.
Oh, I see another one. Just a few.
Ahead.
Yeah, just a few down from Silky Johnson's comment.
Yeah, you do all the talking.
Stephen David, mailbag. Broder, what's your favorite Excel formula to use? Or can you name one formula without looking it up?
He can't.
Yeah, E equals F you, bitches. Put them in parentheses with the equal sign. Yeah.
What's your favorite shortcut?
Oh, yeah, look at it.
I'm about to Control-Alt-Delete all of you.
Not even Command-C for copy or Command-P for paste?
I'm the biggest of the bunch, like a space bar.
Google
It's a Harry Mack
Sheets
bar.
or Microsoft Excel?
Excel. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
dog.
bring it.
He sounded like a Google guy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah. I'm a chameleon. Like the sister act, like the sister twins, twin sisters and sister. Remember them on Are You Afraid of the Dark? They turn into chameleons.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, the
episode.
real ones will know in the chat what episode I'm talking about.
Hey, come to think about it, Parent Trap was actually on this weekend too.
I'm over it. They're too young now, man.
I was just.
But the mom, the British mom, the wedding designer, Nick Parker, made a mistake.
Brother found out they like Excel spreadsheet competition.
You're right.
It's like I'm over it now. You know
How
what?
about that? Speaking of Excel, the Control-Alt-Geek. Literally, that's his name in here.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize when I copied his question from before. And I'm going to rephrase the question, Control-Alt-Geek mailbag. Start, sit, cut. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, and Jahmyr Gibbs. He used different language. This is a Feldman thing. Feldman, we appreciate your sponsorship. Thank you so much for providing us the opportunity to do this show. Mailbag, Feldman Automotive. The Control-Alt-Geek says mailbag. Start, sit, cut. Amon-Ra, Jared Goff, and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's a hard one.
Just in terms of like our favorite player of the three, or in terms of like what are these in terms of? It's hard to compare them. They're three different positions.
That's what makes it the game.
Interpret as you please. And explain.
Start Sun Guy, sit Jared Goff, bench Gibbs. Or cut Gibbs.
That was my first.
Cut Gibbs.
That was my
But
first thing.
only because Gibbs is a running back. We all know the shelf life on running backs, but I need a quarterback, and Amon-Ra has proven to be one of the best receivers in the league.
Somewhere Brad Holmes is like, he's a weapon.
Right?
He's a weapon, KG. He's not just a running back.
He would be absolutely right.
KG wants Jared Goff to go to another team and wants Hooker to be the starting quarterback.
Yep.
Clip it. KG wants Hooker.
Clip it.
Clip it.
I don't know why I said clip it. I need to clip it.
Yeah, how that Word document coming?
Honestly, go back and forth between like Google Docs and Excel. It's the dumbest thing of all time. You're not bringing up bad memories.
Yeah.
It's
Yo, I remember that when it was first like a thing.
Yeah.
Trying to open up documents on one or the other. It was just like, this is trash.
That was rough.
I remember when ping pong first became a sport.
Still upset about that.
Oh my God.
Decredibilizes actual athletes.
Brother, I didn't know you were an old head.
Right?
You know what?
I'm deceptively old.
Yeah. You know women in the kitchen too, don't you?
Chill,
Harrison
Butker speaks for
Butker
himself and
Chill,
himself
Harrison
only.
Butker, chill.
I'm not Harrison Butker.
You know how
I'll
JB had us
happy
take
to
the
be the
Wonderlic
stay-at-home.
test? We're gonna have to find some way to get some like competitive Excel competition.
Right.
We are a Detroit sports talk show.
Yeah.
That is not a sport.
Okay. We see how fast he type. Do a 40 time for how fast he type.
That was actually pretty fun when we did that back in elementary school.
Yeah.
You try to like set your records.
Yeah.
That's where it
Learning how
starts,
to
man.
type
Yeah,
is
that's
a
where
real
it started.
skill.
Listen, that's where it starts.
The Detroit Caps Lock. Let's go.
Yeah.
That'll be my squad.
The Detroit Caps Lock. That's actually a dope name. Can't even front. Can I give a real quick shout out to Alexander Usyk defeating Tyson Fury over the weekend.
Who that?
So there was a boxing match. Tyson Fury, the best heavyweight in the world, at least in my opinion. I'm a Tyson Fury fan. Went up against Alexander Usyk from Ukraine, and it was to unify the heavyweight championship. We haven't had an undisputed heavyweight champion since probably 2000. Lennox Lewis was the last one.
Lennox Lewis.
So yeah, shout out to Alexander Usyk, man. He was losing the fight early. Started coming back, and in the 9th round, he caught Tyson Fury with a mean shot. Almost put him on the canvas, but he did enough to win the fight. It was a split decision. We'll get to see him fight again in October. So shout out to Alexander Usyk.
Shout out to Mike G as well. E=FU. Bees.
That's right.
Needs to be a new t-shirt.
Needs to be on a
ASAP.
t-shirt.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to my cousin as well. She got married this weekend. Shout out to Courtney and Mitchell. Blessings to you all in your new union.
Good
And,
people.
Yeah,
good people overall,
congratulations.
man. And my kids, man. We talked about it last week. My oldest got baptized. My youngest got blessed, dedicated, and it was an awesome weekend with family, friends. Mr. Matthew Broder showed up, man. It was an awesome time. So
I got to meet the Dent family. A lot of the Dent family. As good a person as you think this guy is, you can tell right where it came from. It's an awesome family.
Yeah.
I was really excited to be there.
Thank you, guys. Hey,
What a
listen,
weekend.
That's what we're about. That's what we're about. I think it's time to break this thing down, chat family. I see you guys' comments in there. I wanted to be able to read them off individually, but the support for the show, you guys encouraging us, letting us know that we're getting better as well. That's what our hope is that every single day we're better than we were the day before, not just for the show, but also as people as well. And you guys sticking through all of the different changes, the ups and downs, it means the world to us. I cannot underestimate that. The feeling to be able to go home and see my kids and things, and to know that they tapped into the shows, they see the support, they laugh along with what we're doing and things like that. It means the world to me, man. It really does. And I know for everybody else here that's working towards something, to be able to have you guys' support has just been I wouldn't trade it for anything. So
Let's go.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Hell yeah.
You wrapping this thing up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Played it safe, right? Wrap it up. All right, let's rock. Justin, what up, though? Our sixth man.
I appreciate it. Great show. Congratulations, Kool-Aid, to everything that happened this weekend. You deserve it. You're the best.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Woo woo. Man, and I like the energy that you are bringing as it relates to what you do for this show and the other one. So continue to crush.
Appreciate it so much.
Hey, shout out to Flannel Sam as well, the fifth member of the squad, the vet of the squad, of the Woo Squad. Shout out to him. Can't wait to have you back. I know it'll be tomorrow on the show. It's going to be epic as always. Let's break this thing down with the booth as well. The elite, the wonderful, the stupendous, the miraculous.
All that.
This thing is like the pie formula. I'm sorry, brother. But this thing, we're going to continue to add word after word after word for this booth. But shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick, Rookie of the Year, KG, in the sound booth.
Thank you. Also, congratulations to you, Kool-Aid, man.
Thank you,
But
guys.
I appreciate all the love and support, man. I will be on the desk, I believe, for heavyweights today, filling in for Easy. So check me out, man. And I appreciate all the love y'all been showing in the chat. So let's keep it going, man.
Hey, and JBSMOOOOOV in the TD booth.
Titties.
Tuesday's on the way, brother. It's Woodward Sports MVP.
Yo. Hey, once again, Kool-Aid, congratulations to you, your family. Blessings. KG, proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Another shot on the desk.
Thank you.
You're gonna kill it. I know you will. I'll be in the chat. But this has been an amazing show. And Excel Championship. Woodward Sports. Let's do it.
Let's go. Come on, brother.
Detroit
Ryan's
Cavs
reaction.
lots.
Let's go, baby. Ryan's reaction. You are the real MVP.
Let's rock. Right in the pocket. Look at that, man.
I throw strikes.
That, you know what? We gotta have a hoop soon, man. I
I
like
was
that.
also second in 5th grade. I was second in the pirate reciting contest.
Wow.
49 numbers.
Would that be more of
Oh.
a sport than the Excel one?
No.
No.
Neither of them are.
That is a
Neither.
challenge, though. That is a challenge.
It
and
is a
competition.
challenge.
Well, you guys.
So is the real world road rules, and that's not a sport.
You guys know this guy.
Broder is
Matthew
upset.
Broder,
So
our
mad
Credential
about-
Lions
He is
and
upset.
Tigers beat reporter and writer. Great show today, brother.
Thank you. 3.14159623. That's all I got.
Wow. Okay.
Shout out to Kool-Aid, Detroit Pistons,
Hey.
credential beat writer Brandon Dent. Appreciate you hosting the show, moderating everything.
Appreciate you,
I'm
brother.
excited to be doing this with all of you guys.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to see you all tomorrow morning. Tuesday, Flannel's back. Let's go.
Let's
yeah.
go.
Let's
Woo,
go.
crew, woo, crew. Chat family, have a great day. Thank you for kicking off the morning with Wake Up Woodward. Make sure you tap into Big D Energy, Armani and Edwards, and the Woodward Heavyweights today. Definitely. Have a blessed day, y'all.
Change up.